Okay. Tonight, we're discussing an early entry from the South Korean director, Bong Joon-ho. The 2003 crime thriller, Memories of Murder. On previous episodes, we've talked about Bong Joon-ho's more internationally acclaimed work, including Parasite and Snowpiercer, very early on in the show. Although Parasite was based in South Korea with a Korean cast, the film was rooted in the global phenomenon of income inequality, which allowed it to be a rare international film that pushed so far past the so-called Asian market or other international markets that ended up being the first foreign language film to win Best Picture. Throughout his career, Bong Joon-ho has been careful not only to do films with Korean casts, and in movies like Snowpiercer, Oakja, and Mickey 17 last year, has directed in English with very international casts. Memories of Murder is Bong Joon-ho's second film after his feature directorial debut, Barking Dogs Never Bite, in 2000. Unlike the more recent films, this is probably the most specifically culturally Korean of his films. Memories of Murder is not sci-fi or a horror film or a monster film. It's not abstract at all, in fact. It's the true story of a series of murders that occurred in Hwasong, which until 2019 went unsolved. The Hwasong murderer was South Korea's first modern serial killer, although not technically South Korea's first serial killer. The first one was a spree killer in the 1970s. A series of 10 murders and 9 rapes, later increased to 15 murders and over 30 rapes, as the murderer Lee Chun-jae confessed to 4 murders that happened in different towns between 1986 and 1991. He was already serving 20 to life in prison for an unrelated rape and murder in 1994 of his sister-in-law after his wife left him. That's when police, who had not previously had Lee Chun-jae on their suspect list for the other murders, had a DNA match for bodily fluids found on one of the victims. Memories of Murder stars one of Bong Joon-ho's favorite collaborators, Kang-ho, who would be in most of Bong's movies from here on out, as well as Kim Sang-seong as a detective from Seoul, Kim Roi-ha, Song Jae-ho, and Park No-sik and Park Hae-il, who would later on both go on to be in The Host.
그리고 갈대밭에 숨어서 여자가 지나가길 기다려. 피까지 흠뻑 맞으면서. 그래도 너한텐 그 모든 게 즐겁지. 짜릿하고 즐겁지. 그래서 어제는 여자 몸에 이런 걸 쑤셨어.
Memories of Murder is a very unique police procedural, especially because of the special facts of the case, including the brutal graphic nature of the killings and the fact that it was unsolved. Means that it lacked the ability to have a satisfying Hollywood-style ending where anyone faces justice.
She has to die. No fucking Hollywood ending.
Thank you, Say.
It's also very unlike anything that director Bong has made. His movies are very abstract and very conceptual, usually, whereas this film is grounded in the firmest reality. Bong's own politics as a left-leaning artist who often goes after power in his films meant that there was not going to be any flinching away from the brutal reality of policing in South Korea. Our protagonists, if you can call them that, in the Hwasong Police Department brutally beat the suspects and torture them, even as journalists continually report on their actions. These murders happened during the time period where South Korea was transitioning from a brutal dictatorship into a flourishing democracy. In 1979, the longtime dictator Park Chung-hee was assassinated in a military coup and replaced by an army general who was forced by pro-democracy protests into transition by 1988 into having democratic elections. The murders in Hwasong began on October 1986 and ended in 1991, with a break in 1989 to 1990 when Lee Chun-jae was actually on trial for burglary. I'm actually really not sure how they didn't catch this guy. So during a time of great upheaval in South Korea, at least in the urban centers of Korea, this more rural part of Korea, although it is pretty close to Seoul, now with high-speed rail you can get between the two in 17 minutes, although regular trains still take an hour or two, was experiencing a series of murders. At the same time, the more advanced police departments and military were specifically doing crowd control. This gets referenced in Memories of Murder when the police are trying to get more people to keep everyone off the streets on a rainy night. When the next killing in the pattern should happen, there's nobody to call for backup outside of their tiny precinct. And the free press is just starting to come around, so our police officers are not used to having journalists report on their brutal torture methods. One of the saddest parts of the film is somewhat fictionalized. The initial suspect in the real Hwasong murders is a mentally disabled local man who likes to follow women around. He's not the murderer, but he gets repeatedly beaten by police and eventually confesses that he saw the murder. But before he can really give a definitive account of what he saw, he's hit by a fast-moving train and killed. There is a real disabled man, Yun Sung Yao, suspected of these murders, who was basically strung up in the legal justice system from a coerced and tortured confession, and languished not on the train tracks, but in a South Korean prison until 2019, when the real murderer was caught, believed to have committed a 15th copycat killing, the rape and murder of a 13-year-old girl. His extreme physical disability, he suffered from polio as a child, and his status as a vulnerable outsider, an orphan who came to live with family after his parents died, made him an extremely easy target for police, who beat him repeatedly, kept him awake for 3 days with no food until he confessed. He was freed in 2020, although the police, he said, only gave him a 60% apology, saying an event like his beating and torture could have taken place, but they don't specifically remember. In a weird twist, the actual murderer, Lee Chun-jae, testified at his trial, admitting to being the one who killed the 13-year-old girl. Lee and Yun knew each other. Yun was best friends with his brother and neighbors with their family. The film begins and ends with shots of children, and Bong Joon-ho had a final shot where the detective breaks the fourth wall and looks directly at the camera in order to meet the gaze of the unknown murderer who he assumed might be watching the film. Lee Chun-jae later admitted to watching the film, fulfilling Bong Joon-ho's ambition with that final shot. Before I introduce the panel, please like this video and subscribe to the Movie Night Extravaganza YouTube channel. Then hit that bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. Super chats are now open. If you have any pressing questions, send us a super chat, which helps me maintain the expenses for the show, which I am obligated by the rules of the Geneva Convention to stop everything and ask the panel. Another way to help us out is to become a patron and give us money every month. In exchange, you get access to all of our after parties, bonus content, and we'll tell you even more movies we watched recently. Patreon.com/Movie Night Extra. We have a Movie Night Extravaganza Discord. There's an invite link in the episode description, and we have a Letterboxd HQ account. So those are 2 more places to follow along with us. Okay, let me introduce the illustrious panel. We are live right now on This Space. If you aren't following them, join This Space TV on YouTube. Link below. Conan Neutron is the co-host and senior producer for Movie Night Extravaganza, host of Protonic Reversal, an independent Film Critics of America film critic, and the frontman for the band Conan Neutron and the Secret Friends. Check out his music at neutronfriends.bandcamp.com. Kristina Oakes is a co-host of Movie Night Extravaganza, a streamer on Twitch, twitch.tv/cosmopolitics, a host at This Space, hosting Christina's Corner, and is across social media at Cosmopolitics and on Letterboxd at Christina. Sean McGrath is the co-host of Unkind Rewind, as an actor, writer, video creator, and one of the minds behind cinequote.net. I, of course, am your host and the guy who's remembering all those murders from the 80s and 90s, Forrest Miller. It's pretty amazing they didn't catch the guy until 2019. His semen was everywhere.
Wow. There we go, folks.
That seems to be always your intro, Forrest.
It's kind of evergreen, really.
Every movie he's ever talked about, he always begins with "the semen was everywhere."
It was a dark and stormy night, and the semen was everywhere.
Exactly, the famous intro. Sean, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the show. Your partner in Unkind Rewind's been on a few times, but this is your first time being here. So welcome.
I'm off the leash.
You are.
I can say anything. And Kristina, you are probably overdue for a visit on the Unkind Rewind.
Yeah, the problem is I just can't pick a movie to save my life.
Yeah, it is.
She's an obsessive rewatcher is the problem.
Yes.
It's probably the hardest part about that podcast. It's narrowing it down from the hundreds to 1 or 5, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, it is really a difficult thing to kind of mine your childhood.
Yeah, I really had to go deep. And then I'm happy that I came up with this thing, but I pulled that out of I don't know, just come on. I need one more movie.
I think The Sting is the oldest movie we've ever done on that show.
It's also the oldest English language movie on Netflix. Apparently, people keep telling me that.
Oh man, that's so sad.
Right?
That is very sad.
There's other ones. I think Bicycle Thieves is on there, Italian movies, but it's out of English language, Hollywood movies. Apparently, that's the oldest one and has been for a few years.
God damn, Netflix, get with the program. Well, once they buy Warner Brothers,
I was gonna say, don't worry.
Don't worry.
They'll sort it right out. Yeah, exactly. And of course I was on for Pump Up the Volume, which was great at the time. I don't think you could even stream it easily, and they've actually done a re-release for it. That one, that was great. That was
gonna have to go meet somebody in a parking lot to get a copy of Pump Up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a flea
but
market
it'll be remixed with another movie, or like when you buy CDs from the guy at the parking lot of Walmart, and you're like,
oh yeah, and if you look at the artwork, it's mixed with another movie or something. You're like, what? I don't remember that scene.
I like the idea of going to Walmart where they already have that giant discount bin of movies, but you're like, you know what? I'm not going to go in the $5 bin. I'm going to go to the parking lot. That's where the
exactly. That's where the real deals are. You say this is where the real deal is.
You got movies and you get your pet vaccinated because they always have the trucks that come around sometimes. At least in my local Walmart, they have a vaccination truck that vaccinate your dog.
Well, rabies is making a comeback because people think that
because of these mobile vaccinations.
Yeah, they're a lot of people are afraid that their pets are gonna have autism. I'm not kidding.
You know, it's bad when Pump Up the Volume is going to share a disc with another movie, and at the checkout, or the spindles, the really cheap movies that are on a spindle at checkout.
Yeah, it's 3 Chuck Norris movies on one disc.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
it's Pump Up the Volume, and God damn it, turn down the volume. I'm trying to
volume,
remember that one? That's the famous movie.
Dance. Sorry.
All right, enough of that. So moving on, this movie. No, we're done. We're done with this. This topic is over. I'm officially decreed it.
I have a surprise. Okay, right, I have a surprise for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So over at Cinequote, we just published a pack of 10 former movie night extravaganza movies.
Ooh.
Wow.
So maybe people that
as of right now, you can play 10 former episodes, pick mostly at random.
All right.
And then at the end of each game, it will link directly to your YouTube episode.
Nice.
Fantastic. So so people that engage with the show, whether it's live or in podcasted format or streaming later, whatever, they can check that out on your award-winning asterisks. I'm not sure if you guys have actually won any awards.
We won something in
Latvia,
game, but we couldn't pick it up.
Okay. It's like a non-extradition award.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was really heavy, or just kidding.
We couldn't get there. Yeah, there was a junta.
Yeah. Is that the? Do you get it from I don't know, Argentina or 1960s Brazil or something? This,
right. Yeah, it's made its way to Latvia.
It was really like Battle of Algiers, but more award oriented than anything else.
Yeah, one day.
Thank you. Battle of Algiers, everybody. All right. So, Memories of Murder. This is interesting because for me, I saw the host pretty early on, then Snowpiercer, and then Parasite. I went back to Memories of Murder, and this was one of the ones that I would say for me in 2020 where it was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to be watching some movies, can't do anything else. This was I believe it was a Criterion watch. And I was, oh my God, this is like amazing. How come I've never heard of this movie? And I was really glad to see you pick it because I think it's the kind of thing where we think of director Bong as kind of doing like one thing that we like him to do for, but you know, this is pretty far afield from even Parasite or especially in anything else like Snowpiercer. And it's very grounded. Right? It's a very grounded story. So I was curious, Sean, because you were the one that picked this, because what we try to do to bring people on for the first time is we let them pick the movie themselves. That doesn't always happen, especially
or we never ever let them pick it.
Yeah. Exactly. Especially let her hack. We never let him pick.
We'll never let him pick. Never.
Goes along with the ride. We're too far into the bit. We can't change it.
Exactly.
Hey, he did get to do Big Lebowski though.
He didn't pick it though. We were nice. We were like, I bet he would like this.
And Conan, the list that you supplied me was gorgeous. There were so many bangers on that list. It's a powerhouse of a list. I mean, it was almost overwhelming. And as I kind of scrolled through it over the course of a couple weeks, because that's how long it took me to get through those, there's so many good movies on it. I was like, whoa, Memories of Murder just spoke to me, just yelled. It was almost like that movie was capitalized on the list, and it wasn't.
Sure. Yeah.
If you put it bold and italics, Conan,
exactly.
Like,
that's because I put in 72-point type, right? Yeah. No, well, I think that's. So there's a couple things that I think this show does well. And one thing that I really like that we do is when we pull something that people should know out and kind of give it the deep dive. Because there's a lot of shows that like do the new releases and they do the big movies, and we do all those things as well. But that was one where I was like, oh, hell yeah, that's great. Memories of Murder. Let's go, baby.
I think you guys do a really good job of walking that tightrope between your Barbies and your picnic at Hanging Rocks, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that Memories, spoiler, is going to be more on the latter than the former when it comes to that. And I don't know.
But then you have like Parasite, his later work, right? And Mickey 17, like those are big international movies.
Yeah,
like it's interesting to go back in somebody's filmography and like grab something that people haven't seen or might not have seen, right? Like I think a lot of people have seen Memories of Murder, but like not as many as seen his like English language movies or Parasite. And it's like it's fascinating to go back in somebody's filmography to like the early days.
And I haven't you mentioned it in the intro. I haven't gone back to see Barking Dogs Never Bite, whatever that one is.
Me neither. I've still never seen that one. Just like I've never seen for Director Park. I've never seen JSA. What is it? Justice Society of America or something. Like it's the military one. This first one. I still have not seen that one. I've seen all the rest of them. Some of them used to be really hard, but
was this a first time watch for anybody? Memories of Murder, or had everybody here seen it?
I had seen it, but I think. What was it, like 2022? I think it was the first time I saw it, and it was while we were getting ready. I'm trying to remember what we were trying to get ready for. I can't even remember at this point.
Well, you did Parasite and you did Snowpiercer, but neither was before neither.
No, it was. Yeah, it wasn't that. I can't. It might have been when we did the Handmaiden, and then I was like, it might have been like,
and you did like the South Korean cinema deep dive.
Yeah, okay. It might have been that.
Yeah.
But I remember watching it and being like, yeah, this is bleak as fuck.
Also, lots of kicking. There's a lot of kicking in this film.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's flying spin kicks. There's entire compilations that people have made of each kick. Like they've made they have a flying kick compilation or whatever that they made for this movie.
They got like sound effects like with ice slipping on ice or whatever, like
all the Looney Tunes sound effects.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about kind of that. Like this movie feels very cyclical. Like it feels like we have these moments. Like South Korea seems to be doing a little bit better than we are, but we have these moments where it's like we have these incredibly authoritarian crackdowns and moments of like police brutality that this movie feels like it speaks way more. Although, we don't have a police captain that like holds the person back and says, hey, stop hitting somebody. Like, I think a lot of times American cops are just left to their own devices on that. But it's like we go through these cyclical periods of like law enforcement brutality, right? That at least in America, and this movie feels like it very much speaks to that, because without having like a morality to it, really. Like, I mean, obviously it's bad that they beat up a mentally retarded guy to the point where he's
they're like brutalizing him. Yeah. it's like almost played for dark comedy because it's so insane, you know, and the fact they like take a break to watch some shows too, which, you know, relatable. There's so much going on in this movie in the background.
Yes.
Like
I'm glad you
the
said
texturizing of it, because they never really spell out the fact. I mean, you kind of hear about it in the background. You hear about it on TV. You hear about it when they want backup. There's nobody to do backup because they have a protest going on, and it's like you know, the giant democracy protests are happening, and the other police that would normally join in cracking down, or in this case, you know, it's when it's raining and they're trying to get people off the streets, and they can't get anybody off the streets because of the democracy protests, because all the other police that would normally come in as backup are cracking skulls in like the town square in Seoul, which is just 30 minutes or 30 miles from where this takes place, which is also very funny that Song Kang-ho's character has this inferiority complex vis-a-vis you know, the capital of Seoul. And then you actually look at where the two places are now with high-speed rail. You can get between the two places in 15 minutes. They're not far away from each other at all.
Yeah,
was that the case? Did that exist at the time of the movie being made, though? Or
no,
I was gonna say,
but it's still like it's a 45-minute drive. It's not like
it's right, but it's all in perspective too. You know, it's like, look, how far away is Jersey City from New York? Really?
Or like It's basically like Long Island, like Nassau County to New York City, right? Like, they are two very different places. I mean, there's like farms. Yeah. There's like farms in Long Island, and there's, you know, certainly not in New York City. So it's kind of the same thing in that way. Like, you know, like you're in a
and that's played up big time in this movie. Yeah, you're right. Like it's it's something where it's a plot point, really. And it's also interesting for someone, you know, like for people like us that come from a Western experience, to just see how things operate in other countries, right? In that same way that Anatomy of a Fall was like, wow, French courts are crazy. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And how much are we getting and not getting, not being French? And spoiler, I'm not Korean. It's something I've had to, you know, deal with and come to terms with these last years. But how much would, say, the political atmosphere of what Forrest was talking about would be apparent if I'm watching this movie now, and I've been there, or I lived through those years, and what is Bong trying to say with all that? There's so much happening in the background, even when it's like main characters. It's not just extras filling the frame.
Well, it's like a movie like even like Top Gun or something, where the Reagan era of it all is kind of overpowering in parts of it, and it's like if you live through that period, it's a different experience, I think, than if you're in another country and you're like, planes go zoom. I love it. Like
the planes did indeed go zoom. That's correct.
Not that there can't confirm. There's a global moment, you know, that a lot of things are happening in the world during this time period, but especially in South Korea, where first in 1979, I believe, Dictator Park, who's like, you know, the famous dictator that was, you know, got literally murked by like one of his security guys, and then the security guy took over for the next like 8 years and was basically running like a military dictatorship. And then people finally said, all right, we've had enough of this fucking dictatorship stuff going on for like decades here. You know, a lot of it with American assistance, to be honest, because the Korean War, and, you know, we kind of created South Korea, helped create South Korea vis-a-vis like North Korea, right? Like, so, but like, so there's like all of that happening, and there's this transition to democracy. They never really say it, but you can tell the entire time with journalists suddenly coming around and the TV going like, hey, the cops have tortured somebody who came out, and like, that's not something I think that the cops would have even thought about a few years before that.
Yeah, more than likely they wouldn't. That's, the context is everything, right? Sorry, I was more checking out how I could almost be this guy if I move over this way.
Yeah, you kind of do fit.
Yeah, the tie even works a little bit.
Yeah,
there's such a chip on the shoulder of these characters, especially Park, our main guy.
I can't believe it's Roger Rabbit. Sorry, I can't believe it's Roger Rabbit with the subtitle "Too much semen everywhere" right now. I just need to.
I think that may have been cut. I can't quite remember if they cut that in the final.
I apologize for our audio listeners who have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, Sean, please continue.
For the audio listeners of.
Well, Forrest was talking about how our kind of protagonist has this chip on his shoulder about this big city detective coming to help him out. Mm-hmm. And is introduced. Basically, his introduction to that character is jump kicking him down a hill.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing introduction.
It's an amazing.
That's how I want to introduce myself, just going forward in life. Really.
I'm so glad that you brought up the kicking in this movie, because this is the kickiest movie I think I've seen outside of say any type of martial arts.
Outside of kickboxer. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
everybody kicks, everybody gets kicked in this movie, and there's such a level of just kind of corporal punishment that permeates all levels of this movie. Cops get beat up by civilians. Cops get beat up by their superior officers. Cops get beat up by their partners. Suspects are constantly getting beat up in this movie. Mm-hmm. And even in the kind of the karaoke party, how close to blows the two lead detectives come in this movie, and then how quickly they're back sitting across from each other enjoying a drink.
Yeah.
It's the level of violence to how quickly it's diffused, I think, is some type of cultural touchstone that I wish I knew more about in Korea.
It does seem like there's probably some background behind it that we don't have that context for, right? Yeah. Because it is pervasive, and it seems to change on on a dime practically.
There are moments though where you see snippets of really fast snippets of cops cracking skulls in the town square, and you see that and how fast that escalates, and how that's kind of, at least at some points, that's their job. It's just hey, people are out, let's beat them up. Right.
Yeah.
It's there's so much that you that isn't really talked about in this, but it's shown. There's so many just quick montage cuts, or on TV you'll see different things. It's pretty insane. And no one ever is hey, this is what's happening in Korea at this time. It's Bong Joon-ho. A lot of this movie I was fascinated by. I watched an interview here. I'll put up the interview, this part of the interview, but he was talking about how he's kind of meditating on the 80s in Korea just in general. He said obviously when he grew up. So yeah.
So this film was based on real events in Korea, late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. Was that a time that, was it something that was very disturbing to you at the time, or just why did you decide to make a film about that?
연쇄살인이라는 어떤 스릴러 장르이기 전에 1980년대에 관한 얘기죠. 너무나 혼란스러웠던, 방금 장면 보셨다시피 혼란 그 자체였던 그 시대를 어떻게 보면 다루고 있는 건데.
So before the film is this one genre of serial killers, thrillers. It's basically about the chaos of the 80s. As you saw in that clip, it was really about that time that was just chaos in itself.
크라임 씬 자체가 전혀 관리가 안 되잖아요. 요즘에 한국 경찰은 전혀 저렇지 않죠. CSI 이상으로 완벽하게 통제하고 전문적인 프로파일러들도 있고 모든 과학 수사를 하고 하지만 저 때는 엄청나게 모든 것들이 혼란스럽고 무능했던 것들이 뒤엉켜 있었던 시절이었어요. 그것이 제가 또 고등학교를 다닌 시절이고 그때 벌어졌던 사건이죠. 범인을 잡는 데 실패했던. 그러니까 우리가 왜 실패했나? 그 실패했던 시대의 우리의 모습을 돌이켜보는 그런 80년대라는 그 키워드가 되게 중요했던 영화였어요.
So at the time, they couldn't manage the crime scenes at all. Of course, the modern Korean police force. They're completely different. They're able to completely control the crime scenes. They have professional profilers and have a lot of forensic tools in their hands. But during the 80s, there was a lot of chaos and people were incompetent. And that was when I was in high school, and that's when all those serial killings actually happened. And so this film was sort of a reflection on why they failed to catch the actual killer, and a reflection of how Korean society functioned in the 80s. The keyword, the 80s, was a very important aspect of this film.
The 80s.
One of the hardest working women in translation, right there.
I know. It's gonna say he's like talked for like. Man, I was like, is she taking notes of all this? That's like. I was suddenly thinking of how stressful it must be to be a translator. I'm like, that sounds terrible.
Well,
she
she's
was
like
with him, right? She's been with him for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like her.
Because you could go back to like even like Snowpiercer, when Bong like does speak English. I think when he has a lot of thoughts, like when they kind of come pouring out of him, he prefers not to. But you will see interviews where he does speak like pretty fluent English. Like he knows a lot. But he has that lady come with. I don't know when I don't know when she's first started being his translator, but it's been quite a while.
Yeah.
Well, she seems very comfortable with his cadence and what he's trying to say. So like that implies a longer relationship than just like, hey, what are you doing? Can you translate for us here? Yeah.
She gets to walk on stage when he wins an Academy Award. So that's nice.
True.
Yeah, she was there.
Remember when he made him kiss? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. That
was
very
the first
relatable.
time that Oscars have kissed.
I forgot about that till right now.
I think so. Yeah, it was banned. The Hays Code banned that actually. So
Yeah.
I think mainland China didn't show that part. Mainland China, I believe, cut the movie that Ang Lee won for when he won his Best Director for Brokeback Mountain. They didn't reveal what movie he had won for.
wow.
Yeah.
I still like
Oscars because isn't the director of Crash in like a lot of trouble right now, from what I've heard?
Paul Haggis? Is he direct? I don't know. Probably. I'm gonna.
It's still insane that that mainland China made a Tibetan guy get swapped out for Tilda Swinton.
I thought you were going to say it's insane how Crash solved racism single-handedly, which is.
I thought you were going to go like with Doctor Strange with that one because.
I'm saying.
There were so many different
Doctor
ways
Strange, they made Tilda Swinton, because they didn't want a Tibetan guy on,
it's just because Scarlett Johansson wasn't available. That's the only reason.
or Emma Stone.
But it's also interesting with the Tilda Swinton thing. Like,
thank you.
She's been in pretty much all of Bong Joon-ho's, like pretty much all of Bong Joon-ho's.
She's culturally Asian,
international.
We'll say,
international. Like she's a muse for Bong Joon-ho, and he said it like a bunch.
Absolutely.
Let's see, super chat. The period of student riots and flying drop kicks against the police.
Exactly. Who can forget? That's what they called it. It's the official era.
Yeah. Fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
I mean, I think like when the dark ages of physical media are fully complete, you will get Memories of Murder on the same disc with Kickboxer or Bloodsport.
Like someone is like, there's a lot of kicking in both these films. Let's put them on the same one.
We did like a word bubble, and these two movies came up the most.
In the 4K version of like SLP or EP mode on a VCR. Thank you. That is, by the way, that is the nichiest reference I have made on this show in a long time. But that's where it's like, hey, we want to fit 3 movies on one VHS tape.
Gotta go EP. Gotta go.
Yeah.
And
you could, but boy, it didn't look good.
Yeah.
This will never happen, and I think if they did it, it would bring unfathomable evil into the world. But I would like to see a this sucks. I'd like to see a DVD commentary of the actual guy, like Lee. He's like in his 60s now. That the actual guy who did the murders, and I would want to hear a commentary where he's talking about like.
No, they got this all wrong. I didn't do it that way.
Yeah. Well, actually, here when I strangled her with the brassiere, it was a gray brassiere, and in the movie, it's a white brassiere.
I think taking a second.
I don't know if it was. Yeah.
Forrest, like you mentioned in the intro, like when I first saw this movie, this was a case that hadn't been solved.
Yeah.
I probably saw it 10 years ago. The insanity of a movie having a kind of ribbon wrapped around it in this way is, I can't think of a good example in American film or something like that where, oh yeah, they eventually did figure it out. And this cold case that this movie is examined is now stored away and considered case closed. It just blows my mind when that came up in the last few years.
But I also don't know how like they didn't catch this guy. Like in a way, like obviously there's a lot of chaos, but like hearing because the guy said it himself. Lee Chun-jae is the guy. He said himself, I don't know how the fuck they didn't catch me. Like
I mean, look at your subtitle there. It says it all.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, it's not just there was blood everywhere of his and his victims. There was semen everywhere. He raped 30 women, and none of the times he like didn't. He always just came and just left the semen there. Like that was.
Did they not have DNA testing back then, or like?
Well, they had DNA tests. I mean, it's in the movie. They had DNA testing. They didn't actually have to send it as far as America. They actually just had to send it to Japan, which is a closer boat trip than having to go all the way to America to do it. But
how jacked up is that? Too, by the way, to have to send it over to your oppressors. But anyway,
I mean, yeah, exactly. It's such an indignity to be like, we're just such a podunk police force that we can't properly handle DNA. Yeah. So we have to send it to mom and dad to take a look at, and then have them, send it like first class mail, right? Like, let's just wait for the mail.
Like Cologuard or something, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
but I mean,
our new sponsor. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh boy.
America is also like a long-time oppressor of the Korean people. Like they kind of took over. They would in the same way that like we took over
not
for the
quite as much as the Japanese, as outlined in the classic movie The Handmaiden. But yeah.
Well, I talked about this when we did The Handmaiden. They actually they learned their torture techniques. The American military learned torture techniques and learned how to do bacterial warfare. They would on the Korean people, and then of course denied that we ever did that. But they did the exact same thing where you'd put smallpox on a chicken and then take the chicken feathers and just rain them down on a village to give the
work for the Native Americans. Why not?
Yeah. I don't know why we had to relearn that from the Japanese. By the way, we already knew how to do that. I guess
we've lost so much.
It's like you drop blankets. Maybe you drop blankets down. And like, oh, we're not trusting these blankets, but chicken feathers.
We know you can't get us with the blankets. We know that one.
But yeah, so there were 10 known victims, and then 4 other ones that were not in Hasong, like the town. But like a lot of these, right? The first one, there was a negative semen reaction to Lee Chun-jae. Evidence found strangled by hand. Semen blood type was not able to be determined. Then again in 1986, blood type couldn't be determined. So all the way until basically
strangled by hand. We are talking about the victim here, right?
Yeah. But so until 1990, so 4 years later, a middle school girl was murdered while she was walking home, and they finally figured out the blood type was B. And then that's like the big evidence they had. And then they have because like in the movie they show this one woman survived and gave a description of the person, and it's what they used for the kid to like basically his haircut and everything in the movie, not knowing who the kid was going to turn out to be, but they dressed him up and he looks just dead accurate to this guy, but now he doesn't look like that because he's like 60. But like at the time,
at the time, he's very young at the time of these killings. The real guy, right, Forrest, like he's early 20s.
And he's in his early 20s. He had been in the South Korean military during this time where it was a military dictatorship. So they basically had free reign to do whatever the fuck they wanted. And he was very, I don't know. There's a lot of these weird things. Like this isn't like a justification or whatever, but like his thing is that he was like, he said he was very bored. And he was sitting there and there was nothing to occupy him. And he had been a military person. He had been brutalizing people in the military, raping women in the military. Like he had all of those things. And then he was expected to go into this town and get like a factory job. And so he got a factory job, but then also was like, okay, I'm like, life is terrible. I'm bored. And I'm also a psychopath. Like, like in the clinical sense, right? Like
right.
He's just a deeply like mentally ill, fucked up individual. And he just started like raping and murdering. But the thing that I understand it, I guess, but the thing that's weird is that he got taken down in that village for burglary for a year. He was in prison for a year. He finally got off. And during that time, there were no murders. They released him, and then the murders started up again a couple weeks later. And it's just like, dude, you don't think that maybe the guy that you just released from prison that burgled like an old woman's house and tried to strangle the old woman might be the other guy that's like, I think he tried to strangle his landlady or something. And they're like, oh no, this must be a different guy. It must be like his neighbor, right? His neighbor is the guy that was mentally, he actually isn't mentally disabled. He's physically disabled, but in the movie he's mentally disabled. He lived next door to that guy. They grew up together. They're like the brother of Lee Chun-jae was best friends with I think his brother. Like they had like these familial ties because they're both kind of outsiders in this village. And it's like nobody thought to ask that kid.
That's why I think it's so just amazing that Bong Joon-ho didn't make this movie after everything that what you just talked about has come out, because this movie is such an example of police negligence and incompetence. And it's really strange for a drama to kind of, obviously we watch like, something like The Other Guys, and you can see like how bad cops are when it's a comedy.
Yeah.
But I can't think of an example where our protagonists are so inept at kind of what they're doing from the very first scene of like trashing this crime scene and letting a tractor go through in another scene. And
you get the more sophisticated, soul detective, right? That volunteers for this case, who ends up being pretty much, a little bit better, but like also pretty
Still
fucking
bad.
incompetent. Yeah.
Well, so this goes back to the larger point of it being a police procedural, but showing that the procedures are inherently flawed, and that's just not a thing that I'm used to seeing, certainly, and I think we're not used to seeing as Western audience, because it generally speaking isn't allowed. If it is, it's played for laughs, like you mentioned. By the way,
they called
Adam McKay coming up next episode.
wasn't Zodiac never caught? Actually, because the only thing they had for the longest time to go on was like a drawing of someone that looked exactly like this guy that they should have.
Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is Zodiac. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying in this case, Lee Chun-jae looked exactly like the drawing, and it's like I don't know. It makes me want to like scream a little bit, but they called him the South Korean Zodiac killer because they only had a drawing to go on for the longest time, and the drawing looked a lot like it was the same kind of court style.
But and again, I know we're gonna go through the plot, so I don't want to jump ahead. Yeah. But near the very very end, which he's like interrogating the little girl, like what do he look like? I don't know, just kind of plain,
Yeah.
I which is. First of all, the least helpful thing you can say, little girl. Thank you,
but it's like, yeah.
See,
secondly, not wrong. If you look at the picture, like, oh, okay, I guess he's kind of like.
Let me. I'll pull it.
I guess.
Yeah. But you'll see why.
While you're pulling that up, this is another super chat. Chaebols are first in line suppressors backed by the U.S. By the people who don't know what those are. Those are conglomerates, industrial conglomerates, usually run by a family.
No other choice.
So, yep, exactly.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Which if we don't cover for Oscar season, we would definitely cover it some weeks. I love that movie. But
it's really fantastic, that movie.
I really like it.
But yeah, like you could see why this person would be known as.
So this is the real guy.
Yeah, it's like.
But he looks like the actor who was also in The Host, but was not as like they really dressed him up to be like a little fancy boy in this, and in The Host he's really he's kind of a lot more grimy and like he's the brother or whatever. But in this case, like you see the actor that they see the haircut they gave him, the style they gave him, the way they dressed him up. He looks a lot like Lee Chun-jae.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to figure out like how they based it before seeing that there was this sketch that like it's like, all right.
Did he have the sketch to go off of? Maybe they did casting based on the sketch. Just style him like that.
Yeah, but it's an actor that he works with a lot in South Korea, but they stylized him to look a lot like.
Yeah. I've seen him in like a bunch of things. Yeah, but I'm just saying like when they cast him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was. I'm pretty sure this was the first movie that
Paul McCartney got lucky. Nice one.
I think that there's an interesting like tidbit here too, where when they're talking to the disfigured young kid who they think is a suspect. And when they kind of deduce that he wasn't a suspect, but in fact a witness, he says that this guy is handsome, right? Mm-hmm. That's his like go-to descriptive word for who the killer was. Yet to somebody with a disfigurement and maybe a mental, issue, almost anybody could be.
That's going to be
handsome.
Anybody, exactly. Yeah.
Whereas when we meet,
he says it a bunch of times. He's like, I'm just like he. Although he is, he's mentally challenged. He knows he's not a great looking guy. And the police rub it in every single time because they think that the motive, obviously, like the motive that they paint onto him, because they're just trying to get it, like
whereas
we're out of here.
Whereas when we get that that kind of end scene with the little girl, and she says he's so ordinary, there was nothing special about him. She doesn't say he was handsome, because he wasn't, right? He was just plain as you could get.
Yeah.
This guy's so haunting. He scared the hell out of me.
Plain Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then like he's in the host, and he's completely like you could say it's the same guy in the same face. He's the brother in the host,
but it's like a totally different dude, right? Because of
but also the mentally disabled, the mentally disabled guy is also in the host and is not mentally disabled, and it's like it's crazy to like I don't know. It's like when Ben Stiller takes out his Simple Jack teeth, kind
of.
You never go full retard.
How we get to cover that movie is just anyway.
I covered it one time with
you sure did. Yeah.
And this table that I'm on right now fell in the middle of it, and I had to catch my laptop with one hand and keep streaming with the other. Yeah.
Wow.
So in October 1986, 2 women are found raped and murdered in a ditch near a field. Local detective Park Do-man, I think it's I don't know, maybe Park Do-man, not having dealt with such a, I'm going to call him Detective Park, not having dealt with such a serious case before, is overwhelmed. Key evidence is improperly collected. That's an understatement of the year.
That's who did the detective write this? Like, who? Come on, what are we doing now?
Police's investigative methods are suspect. Understatement of the year again. The forensic technology is near non-existent. Still crazy though that they're literally they're 40 minutes outside of the capital city. Like the one place that like they would have better gear, but the gear is all being used to just beat down protesters at this point. Like it doesn't not relatable at all to this moment.
What?
Yeah, what are you talking about? I've been asleep for the past week.
What do you mean?
Dream.
Yeah, exactly.
I
just woke up from a coma.
Who's the president?
Yeah, exactly. What?
I always thought it'd be really funny.
The reality show star.
Wake up from like 2014, and he wakes up, and you have to like break the news to him.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh.
Hart claims he has a way of. I'm so happy that handsome black guy is the president. Oh man, I got something bad to tell you.
Wait.
He is a person of color, I guess. He's orange. Hart claims he has a way of determining suspects by eye contact. Not very good at it. His shaman eyes are
the shaman eyes, the Kim Carnes song.
That line is great. Like I love the line shaman eyes, but I don't know if he's the eye of a shaman, that shaman is blind. That shaman needs contacts,
and he keeps leaning into it like over and over again too, which is so funny. Where it's just like, all right, we get it, that's your thing.
It's all he has, right? Like that's what I mean. I like the first couple of times I was just like, oh, it didn't hit me as starkly. Like that's all he has. Like there's nothing else. He's like, oh, don't worry, I can look at the guy and maybe I'll figure it out. He learns from his girlfriend that a scarred, mentally handicapped boy, Baek Kang-ho, resides in the town. I'm gonna like murder all these names, but whatever. Baek Kang-ho resides in the town and decides to question him first. He finds him and uses his eye contact method, instinctively thinking Baek is responsible because he's the first guy that
all right, can we really call it a method? Is it a method? I mean, what defines a method? Like, can you please tell me where
the Jared Leto method? Like, what are we talking about here?
Honestly, Jared Leto's method might be more logical, frankly. But okay,
I think
I'm gonna send you a dead rat and a used condom, Conan.
No, the closest we have the closest method we have is Timothée Chalamet putting contacts in his eyes to fuck him up, and then putting glasses on top of those contacts for Marty Supreme. That's basically that's the level of that Detective Park is working with here. Yeah, Park is a partner. Cho beat confessions out of Beck and secretly recorded him talking about one of the murders. I couldn't stop thinking about the Mr. Show bit where it's the good cop, bad cop, and our good friend Saul Goodman he comes out and he's like, well, I think it's first it's David Cross. He comes into the room and he's like, my partner is a real asshole, and he's sometimes he has a real temper, and then fucking Bob Odenkirk comes out and he's like, okay, I get it, you're an asshole. And he's like, he said that about me. He said that about me. Like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, so his partner is off the chain a little bit. The entire movie.
There's no chains in sight with that guy. There's exactly. Yeah,
there's very few scenes where they kind of work any kind of good cop, bad cop dynamic.
Yeah.
So much of this
that
movie,
first one.
Yeah. So much of this movie is just these men operating from their id, just base instincts. So quick they are to kind of like strike and hit and whack people upside the head. And then they just jump to, oh, it's time to eat. So let's sit here with this suspect and watch television and eat noodles. So much of this movie's humor comes from edits like that.
No, it's so good, and again, that's part of the being a police procedural of the style that we haven't seen, or at least that I certainly have never seen depicted in a movie in that way, which is just sort of like, wow, this is both hilarious and damning at the same time. Where it's like not since Police Academy. ...
What was the name of like the fictitious TV show within, well, obviously it's very fictitious. It's in Simpsons, but like when Homer Simpson became a character, was it like Super Cops? It was this really dumb cop, and he had the character name of Homer Simpson. And so Homer's then watching a cartoon or like a TV show where it's
I know what episode you're talking about, but I'm trying to.
And he keeps like dropping his gun and it's going off. I mean, it's a really, really inept cop. And I think that's when Homer wants to change his name to Max Power.
Yeah.
Max Power.
Which is my favorite. One of my favorite Simpsons meme pages is Max Power. And
and that's because the name Homer Simpson has been so
Police
tainted.
Cops.
Police Cops. Thank you so much.
Cops.
Yeah.
That'll be in the flea market buy of it'll be Memories of Murder and 3 seasons of Police Cops.
I mean, it really does. There he is. Yeah. Wow.
The Three Stooges, directed by Takashi Kitano.
It's like this character.
Would watch, by the way. Would watch. Just FYI.
Yeah. It's like this character is like thrust in the role of Clarice Starling, right? It's like as if Jodie Foster was just constantly dropping her gun and having it discharge and like stepping on pools of blood. I mean, Clarice Starling does almost everything right in that movie, and is able.
And they still indicted her.
Yeah, and is able to kind of go head to head with a criminal mastermind, and yet to have Park Do-man, our protagonist, continuously be so bad at his job and not know it.
Yeah, I feel like
it's such a unique take to this to a movie.
Park Do-man, I feel like is the name of if I was gonna make it like a guy that had like done the other guy's thing and like discharged, like done an office pop or something, and gotten his gun taken away and has gotten demoted to being like a dog catcher or something. Park Do-man, that would be my.
There he goes. On meter duty.
By the way, I forgot to say this earlier in the thing, but it's kind of it's not like in the synopsis that they're talking about. there are so many moments in this where the background people, either just kind of characters that come up, either I think a bunch of the suspects that they have pictures of, as well as like the like government officials. Like there's a lot of people, some of the villagers, like they're all crew members. Pretty much
they're people that worked on the movie. Right. Yeah.
But Bong Joon-ho basically wanted all of his crew members because he wanted everyone to get as hands-on as possible, including himself. He's in a part of it too. I can't remember what part. He's like in the background in the scene. He wanted everyone to get into like the acting part of it so that they could, because this is only his second movie. Like he's still finding his style pretty much. So so everybody pretty much that was on the crew is in the scene or two, and they're all like pissed about it. There's a making of documentary that's really, really amazing. Here I can pull it up because I took this clip of it, but this is the making of documentary, and they're talking about like throughout this they're talking about making the cast act.
뒤통수 나왔었어요. 뒷모습이지만 이제 꽤 크게 나온 거죠. 재밌었던 거는 이제 사진 기자인데 이제 내가 머리가 좀 커가지고 그 촬영 감독님이 이제 사진 기자라 하면 이제 사진기가 제대로 보여요. 프레쉬도 터지니까 보여야 되는데 내가 머리가 커가지고 그게 잘 안 보여가지고 막 농담처럼 이제 이거 뭐 어떻게 좀 해봐라 그랬었던 기억이 이제 재밌었던 기억이고.
오케이. 자 이번에는요 주먹을 한번 자 주먹 자.
저는 프리프로덕션 때 본준 감독님이 그 박보이하고 맞선 본 남자로 출연을 하지 않겠냐고 했었는데 처음에는 제가 안 하면 안 될까라고 고사를 했었거든요. 분장팀에서 머리를 깎지 말라고 일부러 막 답답한데도 머리 좀 묶었어요. 굉장히 민망하죠. 괜히 출연한다고 후회가 들어요. 시골 아가씨답지 않게 세련되고 두 번 하시 못할 집 같아요.
역시 최고의 압권은 그 한성근 조감독이 선본 남자 설정으로 해서 양복에 넥타이 메고 딱 하는 게 있어요. 그게 정말
He's so young here, by the way.
It's crazy. Yeah.
내면 연기가 어떤 거다 이런 거 한번 봐주시고 연기는 저 정도는 돼야지 그래도 나올 수 있다. 다른 모두 배우들한테 한 번쯤 경종을 줄 수 있는 그런 의미에서 제가 나왔으니까 자 한번 냉정하게 제 연기를 한번 봐주세요. 누구에게도 자신 있습니다.
있어야 되고.
자 그럼.
기타리스트는 우리 촬영부의 그 친구가 이제 머리가 좀 장발이라서 그 당시 분위기하고 좀 맞는다고 해가지고 픽업이 돼가지고 출연을 하게 됐죠.
꽃피는 봄이 오면 꽃피는 봄이 오면 내가 들어본다.
보면서도 굉장히 즐겁잖아요. 우리 그 친구 보고는 500만 배우야라고 항상 얘기하는.
제가 출연한 장면은요, 그 방송국 장면이었어요. 여경이 그 엽서를 보낸 그 사람을 찾으러 엽서를 확보하러 방송국에 들어와서 그 경찰서에 그 전화를 하는 장면이었고요. 그때 제가 DJ 부스 안에 있었고 그 작가로 저희 연출부에 정영아 씨가 있었고. 그리고 PD 역할을 그 상경 씨의 매니저인 국세한 씨가 했었어요.
본 감독이 미리 얘기를 며칠 전부터 얘기를 했었어요. 나는 못한다. 뭐 그랬었는데 막상 또 닥치고 보니까 또 해야 될 것 같고 그래가지고 의상팀한테 넥타이 갖다 달라 그래가지고 넥타이를 잡아 협디 매트스 이제 메고.
I mean, maybe it's a testament, I think, to Bong Joon-ho that I didn't pick up on any of that.
No, none of them seem like somebody's cousin or something. Somebody's nephew.
Once I knew about it, I tried to go back and see as many of them as I can. The one that really stuck out is the photographer with the giant head. The guy's head is so big; it's like bigger than the camera. And
I mean,
he never turns
big head.
Yeah.
If it's bigger than the lead actor head,
that problem.
That's a problem. I mean, the lead actor in this movie's head is phenomenally sized.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Song Kang-ho. It's
head.
crazy. This is the first collaboration that they did, but he was discovered by when we talked about past lives. Her father.
Oh, Celine Song's father. Yeah,
Celine
that's right.
Song's father had discovered Song Kang-ho for this like gangster movie where he he was like this nobody kind of background tough guy, which is funny that like this role is obviously like he's that but a cop pretty much. Not very tough, but he's like, they spend the whole movie like punching each other. So Seo Tae-yoon, a detective from Seoul, volunteers to assist them. However, he and Park's methods clash and they get into a fight during a party. Well, before that, even I don't know why they didn't even write this in. The first thing that happens is he's walking. He's decided to walk from Seoul to this rural part of Husong, which is like already 40 minutes. And then this seems like it's on a rural because Husong is like a city. So this is like on the rural outskirts even of that. And he's walked the whole way, and he's trying to, which you never want to do when there's a serial killer going around. You're like, hey, lady, trying to get her attention to get directions, and she's running, and they end up
Here's some
falling
random
down
guy
the
you've
hill.
never seen before. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great.
And then she thinks she's basically thinks she's gonna get raped by this random guy, and then pulling over his car. Park sees that, and then immediately starts hitting him. He's not very good at fighting, which is probably why. Park gets in a lot more shots than this guy does throughout the movie, I think.
It's like the equivalent of trying to whip out your driver's license as fast as possible when you get pulled over.
Yeah.
Like, just don't reach
and that's
into
the
your
first
jacket,
that's the first flying kick.
Your driver's license.
I was gonna say that is ground zero for drop kick, the drop kick zone.
I mean, yeah, I love how many drop kicks there are in this movie. The fact that you just said
parkour,
that this is
parkour.
this is their first collaboration.
Yeah.
Kind of blows my mind because you see the comfort in the performance in a lot of ways and how good Song is this early in his career and how good Bong Joon-ho is in his second movie.
It's very assured.
I cannot overstate just how mind-blowing that is to me, that this is this guy's second movie. I think that this movie is really, really, really good, and it's probably better than that. Right? Like, this movie is so good, and I don't even have the vocabulary to kind of explain a lot of the reasons why it's so adept and well-paced and structured and doesn't feel too long for being 2 hours, 12 minutes, and is kind of a long story to tell and a gritty, gruesome story to tell. And yet on this viewing, so many times I just was like emphatically sighing of, oh my God, this is good. This
Nyung Han Song is the father of Celine Song.
Right, and he's the one that did number 3, which is it's like his fourth movie, I think, and like that's where he was sort of.
But his first movie, I think his first movie that he had more than a background role.
It wasn't just a backup player. Yeah.
You're saying Suspect number 3?
I think the movie as translated is just called number 3. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I've got it watch listed, but because he also was in it's a smaller part. He's not a principal, but he's in Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance by director Park, as well as Joint Security Area, aka JSA, which is
so number 3 was only number 3 was only 6 years, 1997.
So 97 6 years before. Right, and then Memories of Murder is 2003. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance is 2002, and JSA is 2000. I think there's a couple others in between there that I haven't seen. Thank you. Those are South Korean movies I have seen. I'm Conan Neutron.
I saw you guys had done The Wailing, right?
Yeah. We did a while back. I think Conan was on tour when we did it.
I was on tour when you did it, but yeah.
Have you guys ever gone back to do Chaser?
No.
The movie that Na Hong-jin did before Wailing?
No.
Talk about a movie that blew my mind. I saw it at the Portland International Film Festival. Shout out Piff. It is like a spiritual cousin. Chaser. It's a spiritual cousin, I think, in many ways to Memories of Murder, except it takes place over one day.
I liked The Wailing. I thought that was a great movie.
The Wailing is really great. This is like when we talk. I've often talked about like the directors coming out of South Korea as being these somewhat of these, connected to the directors that came out of Mexico, maybe like 10 years before that, We had that big like unveiling of Del Toro, Coran, and I'm forgetting the last one, Inarritu. And when we talk about South Korea, we always talk about Bong Joon-ho and Chan-wook Park. I think the third guy on the totem pole is Na Hong-jin.
Okay.
And I wish that he would do more stuff. And I'm so jealous of you three and anybody listening to this right now who hasn't seen Chaser, just how amazing it is. It is so good.
It's officially on the watch list. I'm very excited.
There was something so like surreal about The Wailing. I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen his other movies, but like there's something
That's what
so
shows up on
mystical.
Tubi after you watch Memories of Murder. By the way, which I was like, okay,
really?
Which I can't believe I rewatched this on Tubi. I was like, oh, I fired up Criterion Channel. I was like, where is it? And I'm like, oh, it's on Tubi.
Leave the Tubi. Tubi gets a lot of shit, but you know what?
Tubi sounds like it would be like a villager in this movie.
He's a suspect that gets roughed up by the cops. Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously with The Wailing, we have so much more supernatural bent to it than we do with this movie. But there are some really great scares in this movie, especially for women who have to walk alone by themselves at night.
Yeah, which is scary no matter which country you live in. Yeah.
The head that pops up out of the grass.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, and it still got me.
There's also like I think there's a fascinating, like weird like global thing to that kind of feeling. I mean, obviously, women aren't safe in walking home at night in most like the vast majority of countries, but there's something about like the serial killer as this like deeply like mentally psychotic and disturbed and a shadowy figure, right? Like it's crazy that these people but like it's crazy that like these serial killers doing the same kind of spree killing, the same kind of like psychotic episode of like having this double life where it's like they have to be normal in the world at some point. Some of them don't do a very good job of it, but like be normal in the world as well as being like this deeply shadowy, like evil, malevolent, brutal figure at the same time. And it's like some of them never get caught. And that's like even more terrible. Like, they never caught Jack the Ripper.
Wait. First of all, we all know Jack the Ripper was Laszlo.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, Laszlo.
I almost said, what are we doing in the chat? I almost said It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. By the way, I'm ready for that crossover.
It's Laszlo.
That'd be a great crossover. Jackie Daytona gets hired at the bar. Look, you want me to write this? I'll do it. Let's go.
Frank, it's Laszlo. I think it's Laszlo. And Charlie. All right, Jack. I'm Jack the Ripper, Charlie.
Anyway, moving on.
Frank gets suspected of being Jack the Ripper.
Right, exactly. Somehow managed to pull that off.
I remember a survey a long time ago that overwhelmingly women said that the first thing that they would do if they were a man or like in the body of a man tomorrow would be walk around at night with headphones. And that's such a terribly sad and yet realistic response. Men, of course, when asked the same question, said that they would fondle their boobs.
I mean, this can't be right. I'm
gonna have to dig up the source material on this. I don't think it was a like Family Feud. We asked 100 people type of question.
Right. Show me.
I do remember the stark reality of women saying that like just feeling like I'm able to walk around at night with headphones. And I live in New York City. I walk around with headphones at night all the time. Yeah. And unfortunately, I can admit that like I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And the sad state of affairs that this movie exposes is just like how much of a how vulnerable women walking around at night when there's a psycho out there can be.
But at the same time, right? Like there's this deeply reactionary urge to blame the other, right? Like whether it's a mentally handicapped guy or, in a lot of cases it's been like a queer person or something, like someone who seems like they don't fit in this community, like within that like time frame. And this movie does a really good job of like, this guy seems like he's like in any other context, he's the harmless kind of village, not like village idiot, but he's like the harmless, like kind of every kind of town has like a mentally.
I'd say he's the village idiot.
disabled.
I don't think that's too much of a stretch to call him that for this movie.
But I feel mean doing that. But like, and the real guy is not mentally disabled. He just had a really bad limp, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's got a limp. That he's the guy. He's limping." And it's like, I don't think that's how that works. They're like, oh no, like, and then they beat him. They beat him so like for 3 days straight. And then he was like, okay, I killed somebody. He didn't even say he did he was like, I killed somebody. And they're like, well, you guys got it. They didn't give him any food. They beat his limp. Like, and then they're like, oh, we're the good guys in this situation. Like, we're going to catch this murderer. And it's like, you guys put a guy in jail for like 20 years for having a limp, essentially.
There's so much of that, like the vilification of the other. And you look at like the Salem witch trials and people who are persecuted for looking different, and even like, God, I hate to bring this up, but like the state of fear that some albinos live in Africa, or some countries where albino is akin to
a devil.
A devil.
Yeah.
That's happening today. That's happening this year. And certainly Bong Joon-ho touches on it in his movie set in the 80s. But yeah, it is sad. And like the second victim, of course, is hung up.
He touches on it, but we don't get the justice that seems like he wants for the victims, which is good. By hoping to publicize this and eventually solve it, like the justice is absent for this mentally disabled person who, while this movie is being filmed and while everyone's kind of acting these situations out, they're like, oh, we're not going to show that he's the actual guy, just got thrown into a cell and nobody really heard from him for the next 20 years because they had him just locked in a prison cell on flimsy evidence until his neighbor was finally like, oh, I did all the murders. Oh, and the 13-year-old girl that you guys blamed on my neighbor? Yeah, I did that one too. I did all of them. And then he did actually face justice because it was like 6 months after the statute of limitations. So he's in jail for the rest of his life, sort of voluntarily, because he's not going out for parole. Because he's like, dude, if I was paroled, like they would just go, oh, that's the guy that murdered all those women, and it's not like I would have a good life. Like I'd rather live in prison, which is like, maybe you shouldn't have killed all those women. But he's like, yeah, I'm not going to go up for a parole, any kind of parole thing, because it's like, I'm just going to be the guy that murdered all those women. It's like, yeah, you did that. Like he's like, so I'm going to stay in prison for the rest of my life, and that'll be my life. And it's like, I don't know, man. He confessed to 30 rapes and like 15 murders, including his sister-in-law, who was 18. And then he helped the dad look for the sister-in-law after he knew where she was. He fucking killed her and put her in a ditch. And
very common murder trope in real life.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because this case has been solved somewhat recently, we're not hearing about this guy. But where does that rank? Because I feel like I should know about this guy, right? Regardless of having seen this movie. Like, how come we're not hearing about this guy when we talk about the, Gacy and Ed Gein and
the crazy thing is he's not even the most prolific serial killer in South Korea. Actually, the most prolific serial killer was the same year this movie came out. Killed far more people.
Jeez. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. This is.
But maybe in 20 years they'll make a movie about that. And
if talking about
kind
this
of
movie,
American export.
If you didn't think talking about this movie could take any more dark turns, thank you, Forrest.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Got worse.
Because I was trying to figure out. First I was trying to figure out if this was the first serial killer in South Korea, and kind of this is the first modern one.
Yeah.
But before that, there was a guy who went on a gigantic fucking spree, but his spree was killing rich older couples and elderly couples and prostitutes at the same. I guess he was an all class kind of murderer, but he was basically robbing houses during the dictatorship and
murderer.
Yeah. and it's like I don't know. So that guy, I guess, is technically the first spree killer, serial killer, whatever. But this was the first like modern one, and it was the first one, obviously, after South Korea actually did become a democracy. I mean, not that but so much of this movie takes place around that, right? Like, I mean, even just like watching the cops and the cops realizing like, there's now a press that will report on like beatings and will ask you questions about it, and like, they're completely unprepared for the reality of like, hey, did you torture those people? Because of the dictatorship, you could just go, yeah, and if you talk about it, I'll fucking torture you too, bro. Like, that's not something that happens to journalists, I think, in a democratic society. I mean, sometimes, but
Forrest, as you
not
mentioned
these
earlier,
guys, not these kinds of cops.
The village idiot who was exonerated got what did you say, a 60%?
This guy was not like this guy doesn't have any kind of mental
problem.
Issue.
Well,
like,
the guy
he
has a
limp.
He
had polio.
He has a limp. Okay, so the guy
he had polio. He was a polio victim.
We call him
Limpy. A polio victim who was also an orphan. His mom and his dad had died right before this, and so he moved to Hwasong a little bit for that to live with family and his brother. And because he had this limp, he was a mechanic with a limp, so he was still managing to work on cars and like equipment and stuff, but not like he was really struggling. And that's the person that they found, not the guy next door that
I mean, in hindsight, you look at this case and you think, not only the correlation between the real case and how could they not have figured this out, and the movie, where how could they have not figured this out? How do we not have, these guys find a suspect that they can really latch onto by the end of this movie? I think is one of the reasons that like perhaps it's not as well known as a lot of Bong Joon-ho's movies, is because there is that innate unsatisfaction to it that you really kind of have to be a movie nerd to appreciate.
You're right. It doesn't resolve, right? It doesn't have any kind of.
I like don't give El Dushi inspiration for the Ree family. This was after Syngman Rhee. Like he was out of power, replaced by Dictator Park. We have Cop Park, we have Dictator Park, we have Director Park.
We got Park amplifiers. What do you need? We got them. We got them all. All right.
But this was after that, and it was Park was like the 70s dictator pretty much, and then was assassinated by his own security. Like, it was just a coup. And he got really, really drunk with his security team. And there's the famous picture of him slain pretty much. He's like on the ground and he's like very bloody. And he got really, really drunk with his security team. And they're like, well, he's drunk and we can fucking kill him. And we can take power. And it's like, never get drunk with your like, I don't know, like interior
solid
minister.
plan with no drawbacks. Yeah, exactly.
I think they all got, funny enough for this movie, if I remember the story correctly, from like Blowback, they talked about it. If I remember the story correctly, they all got into like a massive brawl, and that's kind of they were already planning to assassinate or like take power from this guy, but part of it was it's a huge screaming match with each other, all the generals and him in this room while they were fucking drinking, and like that amped them up enough to be like, yeah, we're gonna kill the dictator.
The whole movie in and of itself.
And then they had to go tell like the Americans who were like their allies, like, hey, by the way, we killed the dictator that you guys like, but
yeah,
we're the new dictators. Like, I don't think nobody really gave a fuck, but except people in South Korea who went, hey, this guy is not as powerful as Dictator Park. This guy's not as powerful as Syngman Rhee. We can kind of just protest until they give us the ability to vote, and it worked. Park and Cho continue their tactic and brutally beat the man. So finds the survivor of the killer after tracing rumors around the local school with the help of Kwon. Oh, wait. All right. I think I missed a paragraph. At the latest crime scene, Park, Cho, and So all arrive to investigate in different ways. But then a local man arrives, pulls out undergarments, and masturbates in a woman's red lingerie.
Yeah.
Cho accidentally, and the line is so great. He says, is masturbating a crime? Cho accidentally steps on a twig, prompting the man to run. They chase him into a crowd. So attempts to find a way to get everyone's
wanking a crime
attention.
is the actual quote, by the way, and it's my subtitle, just so you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, let the record show. Snap correction. ...
Is wanking a crime? They say no, but like, in a public place, like here it is. Like
it's so fucking weird that like you can't masturbate in a porno theater. I'm like,
yeah. Well, that I mean, that was a big part of it. Was they wanted to sweep up, like the people they considered degenerate, especially like gay men and gay women.
Pee Wee Herman himself. Fucking pissing me off.
Do you think that that scene that Forrest is talking about, where we encounter what we think at that time is our number one suspect, is this one of the greatest twig snaps in movie history?
Yeah.
So great. It's so and it's like
the feeling, like it is the most empathetic face he gives immediately after that twig snap. It is just, I know I fucked up, but I can't react to it.
Yeah,
I felt like I had done that in that moment, like while watching this movie.
And homie's like mid-stroke too. That's the other thing I noticed. He's like,
it's holding the flashlight with his mouth.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's something you don't want to see. Like you hope the camera switches off and you don't have to watch this guy continue to wank because you're watching it from above. It's like the great like above angle when he's holding the flashlight and just jerking it into this red laundry.
Ceiling kitty watching you. Yeah.
Out of nowhere, right? Like it's like
considerate framing, we call that.
But it's like, but you're like, I don't want this. I don't want the person to step on that branch and then everyone starts running after each other. Like I don't, but I also don't want to keep watching this guy wank it. So it's like,
I don't know.
It was really well timed, and then we go into one of my favorite like foot chases in all of at least like the last 20
which I
years.
think is in our intro our this month's I love it because
a good foot chase.
The foot chase ends, you think, and the three of them circle back. And then
dog's barking.
And then there's an alley, and one of them, the most brutal one that for the rest of the movie, they do good cop bad cop one time, and then they keep trying to get this guy back on his leash for the rest of the movie. But that guy sees him and the thing and runs after him, and it's like that one they start hitting each other while they're running again. It's like that. It's kind of like that classic Arnold Schwarzenegger chase in that fucking Christmas movie that he made. Jingle All the Way or whatever the fucking he's trying to get the toy for his kid and he's
and Chris Parnell
it's that level of slapstick
and my friend Patrick Ridgewood in that scene together.
I was wondering when Jingle on the Way was going to come out.
What's going to get invoked in this South Korean criminal procedural movie? Yeah,
it had to be.
I am detective. I am Detective Park. And I'm here.
Sorry, we can. Oh my God! So yeah, if they, I was going to mention if they could have remade this, if there had been interest in doing so, what would that remake look like? And era appropriate would have, unfortunately, Arnie was way too busy getting ready to become governor of California. But that would be the American remake, which is like okay. So is it Sylvester Stallone? Is it Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah. If it's like late 80s, like what would be,
It would be funny to keep
Jason Statham.
It would be very funny to keep this movie exactly the way it is, but the detective from Soul is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And there's no explanation. But so
and
it's
his partner's Jason Statham. Oh, it's Memories of Murder then.
No, but it's it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they have that conversation where it's like, is it this hard in Seoul to catch people? Yeah. When they start, but you have to think like, is Seoul like an Austrian city? Like, is that?
Yeah. Or you can just replace them all with Muppets. Yeah.
Well, Muppet be except for the retarded guy.
Yeah, he's the only human.
Yeah, he's the only non-Muppet.
Which includes the guy wanking too. That's Muppets as well. Which I don't know if that makes it worse or better. Actually, to meet the Feebles suddenly. So anyway,
I would feel a lot better watching that. Watching the guy wanking. I think if it was a Muppet.
I think the one of the many brilliant
is wanking a crime
parts about this movie, including that line, is that every time we meet a suspect as the audience, we think it's our guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it never is.
Yeah.
But each time that we're encountering this, like the feeble-minded guy, the masturbator, the pretty guy with the soft hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each and every time that we're encountering, because he's the one that wrote the postcards. to the station, the radio station.
See, the thing is, I never thought it was the feeble-minded guy because it just seems he's too gentle.
Yeah,
like
I'm saying very early.
But the audience reaction, like where the movie's taking you, right? You're built to be taking this journey along with the detectives. Like, well, of course it's this guy now. Well, now it's definitely this guy, right?
Right.
Because
again, and every time our shaman eyes fail.
Shaman eyes.
Wait, so I was gonna say, they chase him into a crowd. Park identifies the man first after seeing him bend over and partially exposing the red lingerie underneath his pants. Another one of those great wanking it moments, kind of where it's like the stepping on a twig, like he bends over for a second, and it's like they're trying to check the guy for his red lingerie. Despite having already identified him, he acts as if he's using his eye contact method once more and has Cho apprehend him, which I love that. I love that he refuses to give up on his shaman eye method the entire movie.
No. Exactly.
I mean, it's one of the only highlights for him as a detective is spotting that. Each and every time we see our main guy here fumble the ball or, lose the thread, and yet in a mine or refinery of 200 guys, he's able to spot the red panties.
Well, he's got panty radar, bro.
He's got those. He's got panty eyes.
I love thinking about like the Larry David eye thing that he does in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Where it's like dun 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 dun. But it's Detective Park doing that. And he's like dun 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 dun. Park and Cho continue their tactic and brutally beat the man again.
Yes, they do.
Again. Soba is a survivor of the killer after tracing rumors around the local school with the help of Kwan. By the way, a great recurring bit of this is, So is like slightly better than they are, and keeps going in after they've beaten somebody to a pulp and gotten a confession. Every single time he's like, "Not the guy," and walks out, and they get so mad because they're like, "All right, let him go." And it's like after the guy's literally confessed and they've beaten him for like days. There's the one where they, I think it's this guy, the panties guy, where they have him hang upside down on like a torture. Yeah, and they've been hitting him with a bat. You also have the scene where he's kicking the mentally disabled guy, who he plays himself so sympathetically. I don't know, like that actor is really good in this role. But like he puts on the boot and he puts on the thing so it doesn't leave marks. Like he puts on the thing around the boot, which comes back later as like a sad moment when.
Yeah, that is a very somewhat.
Of that was his torture boot.
Well, yeah, it's somewhat of a karmic move.
Yeah.
For the guy who's
consistently
to kick suspects to suddenly lose his kicker.
Yeah.
They're all violent, like brutal, like just deeply just despotic individuals. But like, there's always that one that pushes it like farther than the rest of them.
Well, and even when they're not being abusive, these cops scare
like 95% of the time.
Yeah, but even when they're not being abusive and they don't want to abuse one of these suspects, they end up getting him fucking killed. Mm-hmm. They chase him and they scare him onto railroad tracks.
I mean,
it's just brutal, and I had almost forgotten that scene.
Yeah.
Right.
And how it affects the cut from
my
his
brain,
bloody
my brain
hand.
My brain went like danger, but couldn't remember if it was that he fell or if the train hit. Like I couldn't remember what the thing was. Yeah, my brain was just like, oh, something like this is the part of the movie that I really was like the first time I watched it.
Not only is it so tragic because he's innocent and he didn't need to be there and he was chased there, but also because he's the closest thing they have to solving this case at that point.
Mm-hmm.
He is the eyewitness.
I think narratively and dramatically, it works really well. I do feel bad that like the guy that was just sitting in a cage for 25 years, like kind of just got that part of his story got written out. Like,
yeah,
it's not narratively. It's important to the story, but it's not important to this story, to the movie. It would kind of drag it down.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bong Joon-ho is still at the end of the day has to make a compelling narrative and a tight movie and not find justice and let this movie be some type of, vindication for a person who was wrongfully,
It's a different movie.
accused.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's like, how long do you want this movie to be?
Yeah, you could take that character and you could remake, you could do the Hurricane Part 2 or something
Sure.
like that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, the
Call
real guy
Dylan.
also isn't. It's just limpy. Like you just had a little bit of a limp.
Is he still with us? Is Limpy still with us?
Yeah,
He's Limpy in the room with us right now.
He's kind of a celebrity because of this whole story and because he was so badly and wrongly treated. One of the things that happened,
especially.
Yeah, well, one of the things that happened, the police wouldn't admit that they tortured him. They said it might, something like that may have occurred. That was his thing. So he called
mistakes
it
were made. Yeah, sure.
But he also
you.
he got got a lot of media attention for publicly saying that he forgave pretty much everybody and just he wanted to just move on with his life. Got released during COVID too. Got released into the world of South Korea during COVID, which I imagine is not. Because I don't think they gave him a giant settlement and they were like, all right, you're gonna live a life of luxury now.
There you
go. Yeah. So Park and Cho continue their tactic and brutally beat the man. So-fi's a survivor of the killer after tracing rumors around the local school with the help of Kwan. Upon learning from the survivor that the killer's hands were noticeably soft, I hope they say that about me one day. So manages to clear the man as his hands are very rough from all that wanking.
I don't know how I know this, but as a podcaster, he had very soft hands.
I like Tombstone. Is that guy not? Maybe that guy should have used maybe a little lotion or like a little Jergens or something. Yeah.
Call the masturbator. See what he uses. Thank you.
But if he did, he would be in prison, right? He would be in prison for
I know.
murder,
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Maybe it's good that he had a rough hands that he was dry jacking with. Infuriated that they lost their suspect, Park scuffles with So Kwan alerts them the same song the murderer has requested is playing. Another great dramatic moment.
This is the first time we're talking about it. We talked about this a lot before the show, right? But the song. So it happens when the song is playing and it's raining. Those are the two times
does that happen in
deeply annoying
distance? I feel like in striking distance, there's also a song that maybe it's like Little Miss Ride, Hey There, Little Riding Hood, whatever that song is, also feels to be a tie into a murder. Shout out to the 1994 set in
a bunch of
Striking Distance.
I think a lot. I think they've done that in a bunch of shows too. I feel like it's a good dramatic tool. This song is Sad Letter by Jae-ho. And it's annoying. I've decided that it's my third least wanted. If I get strangled to death, the top one, right? The top one I would not want anyone to play.
Was Barbie Girl by Aqua?
No,
it's Dr. Jones by Aqua.
Is Never Gonna Give You Up, I don't want to die being rickrolled. So that was my first one.
Forrest, you have
you'll get strangled to death.
Yeah, let's hear number 2.
Together forever.
Number 2 is just I don't want Kenny G smooth jazz playing at all. I just feel like that would be boring. No one would remember it. No one would remember my untimely demise. The third one is Sad Letter.
How about the theme from The Third Man? How about that? Was that be a good one?
I'd love to get strangled to the theme from The Third Man.
Forrest, do you have a top pick?
The hands close. The hands close around my
10 list.
The hands close around my neck, and the zither is just.
How jaunty!
But yeah, Sad Letter. Is just an annoying song, and I don't like it. But apparently people love it in South Korea, even murderers.
Would you ask Forrest? Would you ask the murderer to stop?
Can you change this, please?
Or imagine, the
who let the dogs out?
Put the gun down. Reverse Michael Jackson gif. Or whatever.
That the sketchy kid that we're about to find in this movie, right? He keeps sending postcards with with the date or with the request to play the song to the to the state radio station, which is just as disorganized apparently as the police station, maybe more so. I don't know how they play anything. I don't know how they take any requests. Of course, it's
disorganized. They have a bunch of film crew running it.
True. No, so they get in there and I would give the guy a separate postcard and I would hand it to him and it would say please stop. Please stop playing the song.
Yeah.
Please pick another song. You've killed 15. If I'm going to be the 16th person, please another song. Please give me a. I'd even go like the Batman theme. I'd even no Batman, and then pow, ping, just anything. But the
Conan,
sad letter.
Would you give him the rights to one of your songs to get strangled to?
Absolutely. What are friends for? Yeah, you know.
I would. All right. So here it is. I'd love
Commuter, Dark Passengers. What are you looking for?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I love the
sorry.
hands go around. I can go. Woo, 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 the commuter.
Like, that's my boy.
Thank you.
Also, I think it would be funny to get killed, to get strangled while the Muppet Show. What about
Phenomena?
No, that has to. All right, that has to go to number 4. Phenomena goes to number 4 on the list of I don't want.
Okay. For the rest, tune into the after party where we doubtlessly get up to antics just like this. Can we please continue the plot summary so we can move on? Thank you.
Yeah. So they realize it's raiding and arrive too late to find another woman murdered. Bad cops. These cops suck. Park and So and Cho decide to all work together. Yeah, finally. They decide to work together. We're more
halfway
than
through the movie.
Is this when the captain says that you guys were fighting when someone was being killed?
Yes.
Isn't it where the captain gives them the dressing down?
Well, it didn't work earlier where the captain said, "I'll fucking kill you if you guys fight again." They kept fighting.
Yeah.
The captain doesn't notice until he's talking to the guy for like 5 minutes, and then he goes, "Oh, they're fighting," and runs in. But he's drunk a lot, so you know. I like that the captain just goes, he's drunk as fuck, and he's just into the trash can. But they're so busy fighting that they can't even hand him the trash can.
I'm sorry, I got my priorities.
This movie is so great for a movie as like just brutal as it is. So Parker So listened to Beck's earlier confession to a previous murder. So points out that he talks as if someone else did it, and they realize he knew details of the murder because he witnessed it. The other thing is, there was the assumption that they planned out like the confession when they're all in the woods and they're torturing the mentally disabled guy, but they did not plan it out. He just tells them the story of details that he would not know, but also like in a way that makes it sound like someone else did it.
Then
the panties went over her face, and because everybody gets strangled with panties and then a girdle. Yeah. Or as they said in Parasite, so metaphorical. They go to Beck's father's restaurant, only discover a drunken Cho there. Yeah, they said they're gonna work together, and then he's drunk at the place. They're not at the meat place, the place where they have the meat, burnt meat sometimes. As people make fun of Cho on the TV. imagine you go to the place and then you're like watching TV and they start making fun of you.
They start getting goofed on. Yeah.
By teenagers and the guy on TV. Being like,
and these civilians have no qualms about starting fist fights with cops.
No.
Yeah. I wish I lived in this town. Well, it doesn't seem to be like many consequences. I mean, everybody's so busy getting beaten up no matter what. Like, there's not like specific consequences for that. Baker arrives partway through the brawl and joins the fray. Yeah, the mentally disabled guy joins the fray too, swinging a wooden board at Cho's leg and accidentally piercing it with a rusty nail. Park and So chase Beck and question him, but he gets frightened and runs into the path of an oncoming train where he's hit and killed. Wait for it. Hang on. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say it again. Parker Joe chase Beck and question him, but he gets frightened and runs into the path of an oncoming train.
That's what we were waiting for. Okay.
I don't think it had the courtesy to give a whistle.
Bravo, Forrest. You really liked that one.
I don't think that was. I don't think it was the steam engine from Stand By Me that hit him. It looked like a commuter train.
Mm-hmm.
Boop boop boop. The commuter. It could.
You're building a strong case. Yeah. Train.
Is that the theme song from Train Dreams?
I'm right here. I don't. Why are they getting a cave? Yeah, come on. I'm right here.
But yeah, that segues into kind of the last like chasing of the suspect, right? Because we're following him. We're doing our surveillance now, right? We're in surveillance mode. after this.
Yeah.
We're doing like stakeout suddenly. And what happens during
By the way,
stakeouts in
when,
all these movies? Somebody falls asleep.
When the rusty nail pierced his leg.
When it happened, yeah, it did suck. I didn't think it was going to lead to an amputation. But
I mean, look, I can't say much about it because I think last summer, not this summer, but the summer before that, I stepped right on a rusty nail in my room that was like, you know, I had a board that had fallen off the thing. I like accidentally stumbled over it, and then I went right on the rusty nail. Realized I hadn't had a tetanus shot in 10 years, and I could have been this guy. So they should have taken him right to the hospital, as the doctor said, though. Park learned that Cho's leg will have to be amputated because the rusty nail caused tetanus.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think we have to worry about that anymore. I think that's a vaccine we don't have to worry about anymore, guys.
He could become Sergeant. If you get tetanus, you become Sergeant Lockjaw.
There we go.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Acknowledged.
Leaving.
Take a shot.
You like rusty nails? I love them.
Don't be riding one.
I'm gonna get this material workshopped out before we do the movie. Don't worry.
You find out Stephen J. Lockjaw has been the Hassan murderer of the entire
whole
time.
time. What a development.
Wow, least surprising thing ever. I still think it was the retarded guy. Leaving Park feeling guilty about what he had gotten his partner and best friend into. They discover a trace of semen on one of the bodies. Just a smidge of semen. Because of a lack of forensic technology. This is like one of the worst time periods to be a cop because forensic technology exists, but you don't have.
You just don't have access to it. Yeah.
Because you're in South Korea.
My cold case exists, you know.
Right.
You're in the country that America nuked, and not in the country that they essentially genocided the part of it. So it's like, you know, we gave a lot of forensic technology maybe to Japan, but I don't know. I respected they cut Japan out of the story, and they're just like, we sent it to America.
Yeah.
No. We don't need to open up that Pandora's box.
But because of a lack,
I don't think that Pandora's box ever closed. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So because of lack of forensic technology, every like 6 months it opens again. The sample has to be sent to the United States to confirm if suspect Young-gyu is the killer with
Soft
DNA
hands.
evidence.
Cream of some young guy. Right.
Creamy hands, certainly.
Kind of looks like Rock Lee from Naruto a little bit. So tries to follow Hyung-gyu, but dozes off and misses his chance. Bad cops, even the good one. That night, Park's girlfriend walks through the forest, watched by an unknown figure in the shadows, but a younger girl passes by. I mean, classic Leonardo DiCaprio style move, where you see the younger girl and you're like I don't. My attention is you look 225 for me to murder, and I'm going after this one.
This is old. Killed instead. This is old Band-Aid back. You're talking about, right?
Yeah.
The young student that Seo had put,
like, is this inappropriate for you to be doing this? Yeah, like that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad that the coin flip that basically we see him make the murderer in that moment.
How much money have you lost in the coin toss?
Well, one of these lost their lives. That's a lot. They've lost everything.
Yeah. Well, they do the thing where it's the two girls. It's not in this synopsis, but there's the two girls that are using the buddy system, and the one day the other girl doesn't walk her home from school, the guy's waiting for her.
It just looks like, I mean, I don't know how the village is set up, but could there be a more like Disneyed evil path? This is the sleepy hollowest of all forest paths.
It's like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride to the right and Space Mountain to the left. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it has almost like a fairy, like like in a Disney movie they have like the hollowed crossing or whatever, where it's like the fairies are. Like that's where the guy's masturbating. And then they have the scariest path going through what in America would be a cornfield, but here is a rice paddy.
See, instead isn't it? That'd be Six Flags probably in reality. But anyway, moving on.
And then a cockatoo going. To wake everybody up.
Exactly.
Where is that?
I need to get.
Did I load that up? I don't remember if I thought I did. Oh no, I couldn't. Yeah, I didn't. Anyway, move on, please.
So Bill tries to find how. A younger girl passes by. Leonardo DiCaprio. Blah blah blah. Next morning, her body is discovered. So So I keep wanting to say SEO, like the optimization YouTube thing. Sees a Band-Aid on her waist to recognize her as the same schoolgirl that he befriended while investigating the murders. Enraged at the loss, so his frustrations finally flow over and he snaps. Yeah, finally. I feel like
I asked my Korean friend who
quite
said
a few
that his name
times.
was Suh.
Okay.
Suh.
I've been saying it all wrong.
You got
sorry.
We'll
start the show over.
Anybody who started with anybody whose name is Suh, well, this one's for you.
Suh,
dude. Suh. He attacks Hyung-gu until he's interrupted by Park bringing documents from America regarding the semen sample. Thank God. I really wanted to know how that turned out. However,
regarding the semen sample, lesser known sequel to Regarding Henry, by the way.
That is a tough.
I like
that's a tough way to wake up.
Yeah,
is to like have your door kicked
the
in.
best way to wake up is semen in your cup. I like the idea of having like an urgent, the government says like urgent kind of things, right? Where it's like a government documents enclosed semen sample. He attacks Hyung-gu until he's interrupted by Park bringing documents from America regarding the semen sample. However, the papers state the sample does not match Hyung-gu's DNA. I want to touch on the fact that like one of the semen samples of the guy that actually did it came back negative.
That's awful.
It was just like a false test, I think, in like the 90s or something like that. So there is precedent to like maybe he definitely still did it. You know what I mean? Suh shouts, sorry about that, buddy. Suh shouts that the documents are lying and the documents are lying. Even though he said he kept saying throughout the movie, documents never lie. But now the documents are lying. That he knows Hyung-gu is the murderer. Documents started lying as soon as Trump took off. Park uses eye contact method on the suspect. Yeah, buddy, that's really
the canonically established magical procedure, right? Yep.
I mean, look,
his eyes see Oppenheimer.
It is a narrative convention, but it is still just kind of perfectly timed that we see the kind of transference of good cop and bad cop here, where Suh from Seoul, the big city cop who's been right about almost everything and has been able to kind of rein in his aggression, is now the one that wants to shoot a guy handcuffed who has kind of been exonerated. And it has to be our buddy. Yeah, who has the softest hands champion of Seoul.
You can't shoot him, he has soft hands.
He couldn't fight back if he wanted to. His hands are too soft.
Just getting absolutely pistol whipped in the rain.
Yeah.
And now we have our guy who is like the worst cop of all time, who is so bad that in the first like 10 minutes has to be instructed by a criminal how to use the typewriter. Like what a cool little touch that
right,
was.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Where he's like, you have to hit that button, dude.
Yeah.
Now
how do I open PDF?
Yeah. How do I where's Clippy? Now has to be the adult in the room to like keep this fellow cop from shooting a handcuffed innocent man. I mean,
a handcuffed innocent, like I mean, if I had to guess the age, like 19, 20-year-old, like
he's the K-poppiest of anybody in this movie.
And yet looks like he looks exactly like the sketch. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just feel like it's crazy, like the K-pop look, because it is. But like the K-pop look, even like it looks just like the guy, the sketch, like his haircut.
I mean, I'll go on a limb here. I'll say that the actor they have playing this guy feels demonstrably better looking than the sketch we have of the real guy. I think that they went and they got a pretty boy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, but it's more about like the style, I think, of the hair and stuff.
Oh yeah.
The real guy, for some reason, now that he's older, looks like Asian Glenn Greenwald to me. He does.
Wow.
But see, like,
oh wow. Okay, that's what we went with. Sure.
Look,
all right, let's go with that. Okay.
I mean, I'll show you. I'll show you.
No, please don't. Can we? No.
Tell me this isn't Asian Glenn Greenwald. Oh. Okay. Literally, I like the last paragraph. Suh attempts to shoot the suspect, but Park stops him and lets Hyung-gu go. In the end, the crimes remain unsolved. While visiting the crime scene years later, in 2003, as Iraq is getting invaded, Park Do-man, now a businessman, learns from a little girl the scene had recently been visited by an unknown man with a normal face. That's got to be like the best kind of serial killer. Like, be like, I'm so happy I look so normal. No one ever. I don't know. He looked fucking normal. He's not like he looks like the opposite of Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, it's not John. It's not John Merrick, the Elephant Man, showing up to like revisit past crimes.
I was thinking of
the Elephant Man.
I was thinking of Fargo, where every time they described Steve Buscemi, I don't know, kind of funny looking.
There's a funny looking
guy.
Yeah.
Hey, he's
the little girl had asked the man why he was looking at the ditch. And it was told, get in the ditch. No, it was told that he was reminiscing about something he had done there a long time ago. Murdered another little girl. The film ends as Park. Imagine if it's not that guy and it was just like a guy that a long time ago like stashed his cigarettes in the ditch.
His drugs or something.
Yeah. The film ends as Park, realizing this, looks straight at the camera, seemingly using the eye technique method to spot the killer among the audience.
Yeah.
Audacious
ending. Audacious ending. And fascinating that
seen by the actual fucking
in
murder.
one instance it was actually true.
Yeah.
It was.
I still have a hard time wrapping my head around that.
That's crazy.
I want to know what the guy's reaction is. That
Well,
doesn't look
from what
like
I
me
heard,
at all.
well, from what I heard, the real killer's reaction to this movie was not one of guilt or shame. It was one of like, yeah, I mean, I saw it. It was fine.
Yeah, good movie.
And that's again,
that is pretty funny. Like you're watching the movie about like your crimes and how like you're evil, your massacre through the village, and you're like, pretty good movie.
Oh, lol, that was me.
Yeah, and then you went home.
You're
and
probably
made a
wondering
TV.
how I ended up here.
Yeah.
You went home and you made a TV dinner and you went to sleep. Like
Yeah,
this
exactly.
wasn't a guy that saw this movie and then called the cops and was like, you know what, I got the shaman eyes. I felt guilt. It's time to fess up.
Gave me the shaman eyes.
He calls up Homer Simpson, police cop, and he turns himself in.
Exactly. Very affecting ending. I again, all the more so because of how the way the story actually in real life worked out. I think it's astounding ending. Also astounding, of course, is Letterboxd social media site for film lovers talk out with and to each other about the films that they love, maybe the films that they didn't love, maybe the films that they did a shorthand review, just referencing how many dropkicks are in their movie. Answer, quite a few. Quite a few. So many dropkicks. And of course, it's not just Siskel's and Eberts of the world. Everyone gets to chime in and opine about the movies that they love. It's a bottom-up democracy. For the purpose of this bit, this is best expressed succinctly. That's right, where they're collected weekly by yours truly for presentation for Forrest in the panel. And that's what this is. These are the Letterboxd one-liners for Memories of Murder. Let's go. How did three detectives get outpaced by a man stroking his Johnson in the woods? 0 out of 10. Unrealistic.
What part's unrealistic? The he's stroking it in the woods? I feel like that's a pretty realistic part of the movie. Who wouldn't be stroking it?
I mean, your heart rate is already pretty high. It's like you've warmed up. These guys haven't even stretched, so I could see how they would outrun him.
He did outpace him though. He can move.
Yeah, he did.
Come on, Robo Penis, let's go.
I mean, think how free to have like red women's panties on and not like restrictive boxers.
That's true. Yeah, it's more free.
He was able to.
He goes full Inspector Gadget, and a helicopter comes out of his dick and just starts going. He takes off. We'll never catch him. He has a helicopter dick.
Wow. Okay. If I were the detectives, I would simply not let it rain.
Do they have that power?
Yeah.
Is that a power they have?
That's a really good point.
You know who we need? Michelle Yeoh in this movie because you know what? Madame Morrible, I'm flipping around. Wicked Witch.
Yeah,
she controls the weather. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Where's
she can make it not rain.
Get Halle Berry in here. Where's Storm? So, sort of right out.
Well, maybe if they never played that song, it would never rain, right? Like
that might be easier than that might be easier.
Here comes the rain again.
Well, I'm happy to have that song and not the other one stuck in my head then. because
Rain
the
on
clock
me.
is melting in the dark.
What if it was that reminds me Yakety Sax for getting strangulated too?
Oh Lord.
I would put that on the chase scene. I would put Yakety Sax.
Right. Before the strangler gets to you.
What if it was? What if instead of that song, right? Every time it's like the radio, it's like a song plays every time he requests it, and it's "We were at the beach. Everybody had matching towels. Somebody went under the dock, and there they saw a rock." And you have to be like, the song's playing again. A girl is getting murdered.
Right.
It's the rock lobster murderer.
Well, in this movie, it's the rock ball gag that he
sure.
Wear.
Yeah, there you go. I like to think that dude just enters every room by drop kicking someone.
There
he does.
Yeah.
That's the only exercise he gets the whole day.
It's only joke. Don't take it away.
Well,
from him.
that's not fair. He also sometimes beats people, but not as much as his partner does.
Yeah, a little bit.
They keep holding the partner back, and it's like I don't like. It's not
so
working.
Beating. Memories of drop kicking.
Yes.
Here we go.
The drop kick Murphys.
I think the zeitgeist on this movie is out, and it's drop kicking heavy.
There's a lot of kicking discourse.
Instead of pistol whipping and shooting, if American cops just drop kicked people, I feel like they'd have a little bit higher of like a, people would be like, well, I don't think that they should have brutalized anybody, but that drop kick was pretty cool, right?
I feel like we should reach out to people from Korea and be like, did you think in Memories of Murder there was a high amount of drop kicking? And they'd all say, what do you mean?
Do you think there was a high amount of drop kicking? Not particularly, not compared to my daily life.
That's kind of low for me. Song Kang-ho, cock gaze in a bathhouse is truly something I didn't expect to see today.
I forgot that scene.
That's amazing.
It's the same technique that Paulie Walnuts uses to try to find out in The Sopranos if Big Pussy is indeed an informant. He takes him, and then Big Pussy doesn't want to take off his robe, and he says, "Pussy, why don't you want to take off your robe?" And he's like, "I swear."
That's true. That is what happened in that show. Yeah.
But there's some great moments. I mean, I don't know. Have you guys been to a Korean spa?
No.
I've been to Japanese spas.
I've been to the Korean spa both in the city, and then I really like this one in New Jersey. And it's like, I don't know, like everyone's in kind of these really tight quarters when they're changing and stuff. And like part of you is like, I could imagine like a guy just looking down and then being like, okay, and then.
I mean, I've been at the locker room of a 24-hour fitness where everyone's saggy old man balls are just out getting aired for extended periods of time while they have a conversation. It's like, oh, what are we doing here? Can we like not?
Korean spas take that to the next level because before you go out there, a lot of times there's pools in the changing room. Usually, that you could just sit in and like adjust your body to the temperature. But everyone's like, I'm just gonna do balls out.
That's what they.
Pussy, why don't you want to take off your robe?
My man's drop kicked him over a table in the middle of an interrogation. How can you not like this movie? It's true. That's real.
Secret agent, man.
Yeah. The funniest movie about police brutality ever made.
It's this, and then it's the new Naked Gun. I feel like.
Yeah. It's got
he's like,
it's on the board.
He's like, he's one of the people that you beat up and shot. You're gonna have to be more specific. The white one. Okay, that narrows it down.
How is your brother, Tommy? Yeah.
Super good. Usually you hit a bong, but this time bong hits you.
By the way, I keep thinking about Liam Neeson reading the thing going, man's laughter must have been quite the joke.
Can't believe an actual comedy film won the best comedy at the Critics' Choice Awards. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost unheard of. And any job, you should be able to drop kick someone once a year.
St. Patrick's Day.
I would really love if these were picked randomly by you guys.
No, they're definitely not.
It's not.
Oh,
it is
let me
absolutely
assure
not,
you.
man.
We're also really getting to the
hard work.
We're also really getting to the marrow of how people envision the word dropkick. Is it one or two words? Is it hyphenated?
Yeah, and I have to say, not to put
Murphy's.
Open up the bathrobe too much on this. These are the choicest ones. There's many more that were not worthy of a brand. Let's put it that way.
Okay, fair enough.
It's my own self-imposed hell doing this.
I absolutely trust you and curating this.
By the way,
some of them are much harder than others, and not the ones you might think. But anyway,
it goes right perfectly with the movie. Dropkick Murphys. I'm a sailor peg, and I lost my leg.
All right, yeah.
I got
tetanus in the country. I lost my leg. I'm shipping up to Boston. Oh.
BGH said, "Fuck jump scares. We doing jump kicks." We did indeed, and we celebrated.
Chicken is great.
Yeah.
Those are the Letterboxd one-liners for Memories of Murder. Please follow the show at our Movie Night Extra Letterboxd HQ account, where you can get summaries of all of the great episodes that we do of this show, as well as attendant short-form content, lists, theme months, all that great stuff that we do on here in Letterboxd format. Too much semen everywhere. Forrest Miller at Always Flacco.
Semen everywhere, but not a drop to drink.
I really hope you keep that for every other movie.
It's happened on for Adam McKay and for Josh Olson. What kind of show are we doing here?
Today we're covering Sophie's Choice, and as always, Forrest with too much semen everywhere.
Every semen everywhere all at once. Every semen everywhere all at once. You know?
Yeah, I get it.
Bukkake.
Yeah, I got it. I told you I got it. So you can follow him on Letterboxd for movies just like this, as well as other stuff that we do for the show, as well as many other things. He's logging.
I only log movies. I only log movies with semen.
Moving on. But is wanking a crime? No, I guess we're not. At Conan Neutron. That's me. You can find me on Letterboxd.
They say no to him, but like kind of. Like
it depends on where you do it. Is it wanking with intent? That's its distribution with intent.
I hope that penis isn't loaded.
I mean, one would imagine there's intent, but not criminal.
No, like if you get caught by a cop, like Jackie, at least in America, in a country with freedom, if you get caught in a forest clearing just wanking it by cops, I feel like they're taking you in at least.
They have to tell you. It's the law. You have to tell me.
Let's finish this bit.
At Conan Neutron, highbrow, midbrow, populist fare. Follow me along for the Criterion Challenge, of course. Closing the loops, all that good stuff. At Conan Neutron. Memory from Cats. Kristina is at Kristina. You can follow her on Letterboxd as well. I don't remember the last time I saw you log something, but you were a pretty good terror for a while. And it's award season. It's award season.
And also this week, 20 years later, Bone Temple, baby.
What's gonna happen? The Bone Zone.
Take him down to the Bone Temple.
Wait. Hold on a second. I had this is so Christina's letterbox. Let's see, do we still have it? Hold on, I don't think we have it.
Uh-oh.
Damn it. Okay, I was gonna find a lock.
Her letterbox is wanking's no crime.
Adam.
Yeah.
Exactly. Did we delete that one? Maybe we deleted that one. Well, whatever. I'll just throw this one up here because it's evergreen.
And we know. I mean, we covered.
Oh, here we go. This is Kristina awakening to log.
Wank, magic wank.
That is a hand.
Wank,
double,
magic wank.
I'll never forget when watching Celebrate Big Brother in 2016.
You remind me of a wank.
Angie Bowie tells what's her face that David died, and she thought it was David Guest, not her ex-husband David Bowie. And my buddy John Park just comes out of the shower like, "Wrong, David."
Sean McGrath at Hey McG. Hey McG on Letterboxd. Of course, you can follow Sean as well for his great show, Unkind Rewind. He's co-creator of Cinequote. Let's hit it with the plugs for the love of fuck. Thank you.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and then hit the bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. And we'd humbly request that you watch the video to the end, because it helps us with the algorithm and helps more film fans to discover the show. We're also monetized. If you want to get your chat questions definitely read on stream, you can always send us a super chat, which will help us keep the show going. Every cent helps. If you're watching on Twitch, you can gift us a free sub on Amazon Prime with your Prime membership, but getting subs on Twitch is always appreciated, and it helps to follow us on there as well. We also have an audio feed, which is available wherever you download podcasts, if you prefer to listen to podcasts rather than watch the stream. That's updated usually the same day we stream, but watching on YouTube and Twitch is the best way to get the show first, live as it happens. If you want to support us with a monthly donation and get access to all of our after parties forever, which go patron only after we do them, you can become a patron at patreon.com/movie night extra. Link is in the description for that. It really helps us keep the show going since we do have some expenses to make this happen. We also have a Discord community. Link is in the description for that. We sometimes watch movies we cover on there. We get into conversations about everything from film to TV shows to related podcasts. We even have a Discord channel for memes. It's really fun on there. You can find us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and Threads. You connect with us on all of those. Talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. Lastly, we recently made a TikTok at Movie Night Extra where we're putting up short-form clips from the episodes. Okay, passing this to Conan so he can tell you about his music and this week's Protonic Reversal. Conan, who's on Protonic this week?
Yes, indeed. Pal Jenkins from the Blackheart Procession, currently in patron-only queue, goes to general feed tomorrow. Great discussion. Blackheart Procession is back. As do I. Yes, it was a lovely conversation. I'm there playing the Modest Mouse Cruise thing, the Frosty Floats or whatever it is. And so he's really... He makes knives. The man's a knife expert. And like we talked about knives for at least 10 minutes, and it was very interesting. So it was a good episode. Highly recommended. Patreon.com/Protonic Reversal, $1 a month advance access. Of course, ProtonicReversal.com for the archives, always free. No ads, no sponsors, no kidding. That's in the general feed tomorrow, so get it wherever you get your podcast. William Goldsmith of Sunny Deer Real Estate and briefly the Foo Fighters for the Color and the Shape era is going to be back on the show this week on Thursday, so tune in for that. Thursday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. Conan Neutron, The Secret Friends. I am so close to being able to announce these dates that I'm just going to go ahead and announce them because it's going to be on Monday. We're going out with Red Cross in spring. We're playing with them in Long Beach, San Diego, Phoenix, Austin, Houston, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, Atlanta, Nashville, and Los Angeles. And we're doing 3 dates with Mike Watt and the Missing Men before that. So if you're not in those places, don't worry. There'll be a lot of other stuff in summer coming up, but we're doing a pretty comprehensive southern run that also includes, for them, Little Steven's Underground Garage Cruise. We are not playing that, but we're going to be on it. So I'm going on a cruise. I've never been on a cruise in my life, but I'm going on a cruise with Little Stevie Van Zandt. And no, can you not now, please? And like Social Distortion and the Buzzcocks and so on and so on. So yeah, that's pretty fascinating.
So, you know what Steven Van Zandt's going to say to you? What? Conan, why don't you want to take off your robe?
There, you tied it back. Great. So that's going to be announced. So pretend like you're surprised when you hear about it on Monday. Let's put it that way. There you go. Very convincing. We got a few days to work on it. So.
When I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Anyway, very excited for that. Should be good. There's some other stuff coming up with Secret Friends as well. Going to be another big touring year. NeutronFriends.bandcamp.com. Way of the Neutron, still new record. Find out all the various things. Caterwaul announcement in 3 weeks. Stay tuned for that. Caterwaul.org. We're finally going to be, yes, the tour. The tour dates.
I sent you guys the actual champagne ad. It sounds like AI. Like it sounds like they cut together like an AI version of it. We're supposed to Paul Masson. It's like I could hear.
We Paul Masson knows a place where tour dates are announced at a later date. So cool. Yeah, that's and I don't know when this is gonna air, but I'm going back on Unkind Rewind on Sunday to talk about Life Force. Which is Tobe Hooper's follow-up to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is insane. If you haven't seen this movie, it is... Look, just tune into the episode. We'll talk all about it. That's... Mum's the word. Because, Sean, you haven't seen it yet, have you?
No, this is going to be a new experience.
Dude, I am... That's thrilling to me. I'm not going to say anything more.
This is bonus. We've only done this one other time where we've had a guest know the movie that we're going to do. And
Excalibur, right?
With Excalibur, with Chad Burns. And now we are doing it again with Life Force. And I don't know what I'm getting into here, man.
It's gonna be great. Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
This is the face of somebody who doesn't know what's coming.
Conan, you're laughing Kristina at this point on Unkind Rewind. You can't. Kristina can't think of one movie she hasn't watched.
Kristina has to get her voice back and then come on the show.
Yeah, she should. Yeah. I've been saying it for a while. Speaking of Kristina, tell me what's going on in your world, Kristina. What do you got plugs-wise?
Well, I went over live react to Golden Globes. That was fun while showing off my own Golden Globes, And
my word, wow. Okay. Is that premium content?
You guys didn't think wow. Literally, everyone kept making jokes. The entire stream. And I didn't seem to mind. That's why I was
got a pair of Golden Globes right here.
Exactly. Did my show today. Went over the fact that South Carolina is once again trying to push an abortion ban, which, believe it or not, guys, I'm probably, knock on wood for me, I'm leaving this god-awful forsaken fucking state and moving back to Jersey. Cannot wait.
There you go.
Better.
Well, have you considered
pull up the Sopranos theme right now? Do it. Let's do it.
Have you considered poor Lindsey Graham? Poor Lindsey Graham has to keep talking about women's vaginas, which he finds pretty gross.
I know.
He's not.
And of course, tomorrow, Forrest and I got our show. Right.
Yeah.
Absurdity
got our show.
Forrest, you gotta add that as a promo because you also host another show.
Yeah. Apparently, so do I. Hey, Sean, I went on as a guest, then ended up co-hosting the MFer.
Yeah.
That's fine. We were talking about award stuff. It's not a big deal.
In my defense,
you're a consummate special.
In my defense,
guest.
I was drunk at 1 p.m. and fell asleep.
You were drinking even before that. You started drinking after the show.
No, but he's talking about the third time he was drinking.
I know.
In my defense, drop kick.
Please.
Drop kick.
Exactly. I would love. By the way, I'm not saying we need more gifts to take this show off track anymore. But if we had gifts of any one of the many drop kicks in this one, I would be fine.
Yeah, I'll look it up between our Golden Globes. Show them off and after party and this God damn it! I had another thing I wanted to say, but now I can't.
It's been really erudite. It's really gonna tie the whole show together.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna have fucking.
You really tied the show together, man.
Do you know the famous clip of the guy getting his head crushed from 5 Questions on the early Daily Show with Craig Kilborn, where he would ask, and I think it was from the story of Ricky O, where a guy's head was just crushed.
Oh yeah, because I just finally saw Ricky O last month, and I was like, oh, that's what that's from.
That's from. I think you guys need to do Song Kang-ho drop kicking a guy down a hill as the lead into Movie Night Extravaganza.
That's it. It's so good.
Wow.
Movie kick extravaganza. All kicking movies. Challenge soccer.
We're the drop kick extravaganzas,
All right, so Absurdity Space is what, tomorrow, right? Yeah, that's
6 p.m.
Absurdity Space
Tune in.
is at 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Are you sure?
Time.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Not 6:30?
Yeah. 6. Well, if I get drunk, who knows?
Yeah.
Conan.
Absurdity Space can be anytime you want it to be if you drink enough. Yeah. Great.
Well, I mean, my whole life is an absurdity space. That's why I named the podcast that. By the way, we're having Adam McKay on. We're taking off next week. I need a nice week break. I feel like we've been churning out content in the content mines, and
and then we're coming back with 2 big guests. Big guests.
We're coming back with on that instead of doing it Tuesday, we're doing it Friday, and in a strange thing where most people are still going to be at work, but it doesn't matter. You can watch it later at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central Time. 11 a.m.
Ireland.
Yeah, he is.
11 Mountain, 10
Mountain Time.
Pacific.
Yeah. I always forget. I always forget.
6
Well, Mountain Time is like, all right, we're on the east. That makes sense. The central part of there's like mountains. There's mountains everywhere, bro. Why do you guys get them? I mean, it's because it's the Rockies, but like
Mountain Time is the like certificate of participation of time zones.
Mountain Time is what a guy that has a distillery that makes like Mountain Dew, like
Mountain Time,
moonshine
maybe.
Style. Yeah, he's like, I'm on Mount. It's Sam Elliott. He's Sam. I don't come early. I don't come late. I come on mountain time.
I'm on Catskill Mountain time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm right over here, bro.
So Adam McKay coming on. We're talking about my favorite Fellini movie, Nights of Cabiria. With him, it's going to be great. It's been a while since he's been on, so this is going to be him coming on again. So great.
To actually talk about a movie.
A little small guest, Adam McKay, and then another tiny guest, Josh Olson is coming on that Tuesday.
Writer of History of Violence, co-host of the Movies That Made Me podcast with Joe Dante. We're going to be doing our first Michael Mann. We have never done a Michael Mann movie on this show.
That's fucking crazy.
Thief. We're doing Thief, which is great.
Wow.
I need some rest because podcasting is the hardest job in the world. Some say. Some people say podcasting hardest job in the world.
This is why Hassan Piker needs to come on the show because he would agree.
Many people have said this. Especially right now in this
like it goes podcasting, being a Sherpa in like the Himalayas and
ditch digging,
one of those things. Being a first responder, a little bit down here.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I'm a second responder. I respond after a few seconds. I see what the label is.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, what you got?
If you like movies, you probably are going to be pretty good at Cinequote. So the app is out. It's on iOS. Right. It's on the Google Play Store. On it. Yes. I will find a time to get Memories of Murder on Cinequote, but it's a new movie every day. It's like Wordle, but for movie quotes. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get on there.
And the link to it is in the show notes. It's there. Mm-hmm. And the link to your website where we could see an Intel commercial, a Jameson commercial.
Oh, sure. Yep. I am a semi-retired actor, so you can see all the stuff at HeySeanMcGrath.com. Also tune in and listen to former guest of this show, Josh Dugan, and I talk about old movies from people's childhood on the Unkind Rewind podcast. I've had a blast being here with you guys. This was my first ever Blu-ray that was gifted to me by my friend Jason. And I was able to crack it open for this. So I did physical media for this evening, this evening's movie.
Physical media.
Physical media. The kids won't know what that means, but hopefully the four of us do.
Yeah, well, the kids today, they're about iPad.
They're all ticking and they're talking.
Exactly. Not
they're about streaming and twerking. That's it.
Not anymore. What's his fuck owns TikTok now?
Oh yeah.
All right.
What happens?
Anyway, if this pick is talking, don't come a knocking.
Sean, do you have any final thoughts for Memories of Murder, please?
I loved it. I'm so thankful that this was available for the picking. I mean, we didn't even get talking in terms of all the little tiny things about like how great it is to add like digital mites on a corpse's face. Just how unsettling that was, or to go from like poking a
I think we're playing with digital mites in Alabama anyway. Sorry.
Poking a dead thigh to like meat on a grill, and just how much like fun they were having with the edits. I can't believe that this is a guy's second ever feature film.
Pretty mind-blowing. Frankly, yeah.
I haven't seen the Barking Dogs Don't Bite or whatever. I haven't seen but that was apparently not a popular film even in South Korea. It was like kind of just flopped onto the scene, and then everyone was like, "Oh, this is the one. This is the one." And then The Host, which like I don't know, that movie's fucking amazing anyway.
The Host
but, like,
is great.
I can't imagine being like South Korea, but being South Korea in like 2006 and like seeing. There's crazy stuff going on in the filmmaking industry during this time period, right? Like starting in the 90s and then like the mid 90s and then going into like the 2000s. Imagine being a South Korean person and going to the movie theater and seeing The Host. Like that shit would probably that would be probably the thing that you like tell your grandkid.
And when you have all kind of decompressed from Korea, I am so jealous that you have not seen Chaser and how amazing that movie is.
Got on the watch list.
It is.
I'm stoked to check it.
Tour de force, and I don't even think I'm overselling it.
All right, Kristina, final thoughts.
Well, believe it or not, this was a first watch for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It has everything: kicking, semen, things you love in a movie, And
probably some other things. I don't know.
And shitty cops.
We didn't even mention the peach pieces of a peach.
Yeah.
I thought Kristina was going to go kicking, semen, more kicking, more semen.
Wait. Memories of a Murder, part 2. More kicking, more semen.
No.
I like
this title. Yeah.
At some point they're like, "Oh, we figured it out. He is type B blood." Okay, well, who is it? We figured out that it's type B blood. That's all we really. That's all we've come to. I also both this movie and Parasite, weird uses of peaches. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah. Not since
I wonder if that's like
Your Name.
You know what? Conan,
true.
Maybe he should have directed Call Me by Your Name. Maybe it would have been a better movie.
I might have enjoyed it more.
Can I just offer one
Kick Me by Your
director
Name.
edit to this, like a director cut, where he gets the report from the States and he's looking through it and it says testing positive for kicking, and he looks up slowly at Park and he realizes this whole time.
I thought you were gonna say
that's good. It's good.
Just as they're like about to make love, Timothée Chalamet in Call Me by Your Name drop kicks Armie Hammer.
I mean,
speaking of peaches,
would have raised it a full star for me.
Yeah.
Who cared the teaches the peaches? Fuck the pain away. Fuck the pain away. Conan Neutron, host of Platonic Reversal and co-host of Movie Night Extravaganza. Let's hear those final thoughts.
Yeah, it's a movie about failure, ethical gray areas, and kicking. And, there's that quote in America, they catch criminals using their brains. Here we rely on our feet. Boy, do they. So, an absolutely stunning crime procedural. It changes moods from high humor to deep despair to nail-biting thriller. I think Song Kang-ho here is great in the role of the lead detectives. He's got absolute trust in his own eyes. Amazing. Meanwhile, suspects are bullied, tortured, kicked, and intimidated in the name of finding the truth about a rapist and murderer.
Which they don't.
They absolutely don't. Another detective comes in from the big city who is more concerned with, say, evidence. And the whole thing happens during a time of great political unrest. So it's wild that the whole thing is based on a true story. And the craziest thing is the crime has been solved, and in real life, the killer saw the movie. And I just can't get over that aspect of it.
It's like, wait, is this fucking play about us?
Oh, this seems. Have I seen this one before? This seems kind of familiar.
Well, it's like mafia people always love mob movies because people just like seeing themselves on screen. Everyone always talks about that. So he's like, "Wow, I can't believe it! My rapes and murders look so much better in 4K."
It's like if David Berkowitz saw Summer of Sam,
right,
and then
exactly.
and then turned himself in or something.
My mom was almost a victim of him.
Whoa.
Yeah,
he's currently incarcerated 2 towns over in the Walk Hill Correctional Facility that my one of my best high school friends, dad works at, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we've talked to David Berkowitz a couple of times because he's an inmate."
He's the reason why serial killers can't profit off of their crimes and shit.
Anyway, great movie. If you are watching this in like real time or close to when this episode drops, I guess go to the People's Platform Tubi to watch it. I don't know where it will be in the future.
Or come to my apartment.
Or come over to Sean McGrath. I hear he has a physical copy of it. That's,
or take it.
I'm in. Let's do
it.
Great.
Take a black light and just follow the trail of semen. It'll lead you to.
Woof. Okay. Also, live listeners, tune in for the after party. We're going to go over the Golden Globes. Not
Johnny sticking around for the our golden.
Yep, cool. I saw him.
Our golden peaches after party. Well, we will see you. We will see you over there. Peaches and pears.
We got a week and a half to tighten up before McKay comes back and realizes he makes a terrible mistake.
I want to.
Jesus Christ.
I want to cutely call all of our listeners peaches and pears. We'll see you over there. Don't follow the semen trail. I am going to my room.